I once joked about wanting a dog's life while watching a beast work. Next thing I knew, I woke up on 4 legs. I wasn't just some pet, I was a massive breed built specifically for the hunt. I was ready to face monsters, but my owner called me a failure and planned to sell me off. During the handoff, I saw my opening and bolted straight into the endless corn rows. Crashing through the stalks, I found a herd of boars. Lucky for me, the big ones lacked tusks. Craving a kill, I charged, but those massive sows just stood their ground, completely unfazed by my presence. They just stared, looking right through me. To them, I wasn't even a threat worth noticing. I let out a fierce roar to panic them, but a giant sow charged me instead. She was terrifying. One hit from her would be lethal. I turned tail, but she was glued to me like a shadow. I drifted through a sharp turn and hit full throttle, yet I could barely pull away from her. She stopped after 100 meters, but my hunger wouldn't let me quit. I needed that fresh kill. I circled back for round 2. She charged again, but this time I had a real plan in mind. I baited her into a frantic chase, slowing down just as we reached the steep terrace's edge. As she lunged to gore me, I leaped with everything I had. She went sailing straight off the ledge. Leaving the stunned beast behind, I raced back to the herd. Those stubborn monsters hadn't moved an inch. I wasn't backing down, now I charged in howling, but 3 sows formed a wall to shield their young. I circled like a shark searching for a gap, but those piglets were staying well protected. They tucked in tight behind the adults. I suddenly feinted and dived in from the opposite side. The sow's frantic defense sent a piglet flying. This was my moment. I pounced like a lightning strike. I was inches away when a sow suddenly headbutted the piglet to safety and charged me with fury. Panic seized me as we both went crashing deep into the corn rows. I sprinted hard, cut into a new row, and dropped low. The beast thundered past and vanished. With her gone, I returned. This time, the remaining sows finally understood what fear felt like. They abandoned the young and fled. I locked onto one piglet, and it desperately tried to fight back. I pinned it down without hesitation, my jaws locking firmly onto its vulnerable throat. Dragging my prize back to the den, I realized that hunting was a hell of a lot harder than it looked. This haul would last for days. That was when I truly unlocked my survival instincts. Winter was coming. I spent months digging dens and scavenging, occasionally taking down boars and rabbits to survive the freezing cold. By the time spring arrived, I had transformed into a seasoned, cold-blooded hunter of the wild. My senses were razor-sharp and my endurance was legendary. I felt like I never needed humans again. But there was a problem. My body was growing fast and my old collar was becoming a death trap. It was choking the life out of me. To make matters worse, parasites were eating my ears alive. I needed help from a human. If I didn't get this collar off, it would eventually kill me. But I was terrified of being caged again, or ending up on someone's dinner plate as dog meat. Suddenly, a boar's agonizing scream jolted me. I moved through the shadows toward the source of the noise. I saw a pack of 10 dogs swarming a boar. Wait, why were they wearing tactical gear? Then it clicked. These were professional hunting dogs, and where there are dogs, humans are never far behind. Could these people save me? Whatever. If I die, I die. Living in this constant pain is unbearable. I approached cautiously. Up close, I realized those weren't clothes, they were specialized armor vests for dogs. Every dog was equipped with a high-tech collar and a GPS antenna. This was a serious operation. I expected a fight, but the armored pack completely ignored me, staying focused on pinning the boar. A man appeared on the ridge, a drone humming through the night sky like a mechanical predator. He finished the boar with one clean strike. After draining the blood, he reached for his radio. "Ace here, target down." A voice crackled back. "Good work, Ace. Drag that beast back before dawn." Ace looked at the carcass with a grimace. 3 mountain ridges. How am I supposed to haul this? He scanned the area, muttering under his breath until his eyes locked onto me. He froze instantly. What on earth? Where did this giant beast come from? Seeing his utter shock, I could only feel a wave of sheer annoyance. Time to play the good boy and lose this choking collar. I hit the dirt, wagging my tail to prove I wasn't a threat. Ice keyed his radio. 8, there is an extra dog here, a massive one. A giant, impossible. In this wilderness, we lose dogs. We never just find new ones. He was still wary, so I crawled forward, belly to the mudtail, blurring with excitement. Ice looked totally lost. "What's with you? Why so submissive already?" I reached his boots and flopped over, exposing my belly in the ultimate sign of surrender. Years of training told Ice exactly what this meant. This dog was submitting completely. He reached out cautiously. To reassure him, I pressed a paw over my snout. "I won't bite, promise." Ice understood instantly. "Where did you come from? Whoever raised you sure knew their stuff." "Who lost such a good boy?" He chuckled. After years of losing dogs in these woods, finding one was a miracle. "We went out for Boar and came back with a prize. He is smart too. A find like this is pure luck." He drew his knife to fashion a makeshift leash, but stopped cold when he reached for my collar. "God, this is tight. It is practically strangling him." He sliced it off and looped a rope around my neck instead. The instant it snapped, sweet oxygen finally flooded my lungs. I exhaled deeply. Sweet relief at last. Ice patted me, then rigged the boar's legs to start the long haul back. The boar was not huge, maybe under 200 pounds. Still, hauling it up the ridge alone was brutal. The other dogs were useless, just snapping at the fresh meat. I could not just stand by. I refused to be treated like some common hound. I would work hard, but I wanted the cozy life of a pet. To get that, I needed their favor. I was not a looker, so brains were my only edge. I grabbed the rope and hauled that carcass beside Ice. Ice was floored. "Wait, you actually know how to help?" After 4 years and 1,000 boars, he had never seen a dog help with the heavy lifting. Grinning, he patted my head. "Good boy, but I have got this." I ignored him and kept on pulling. Man and dog conquered 2 ridges before hitting the road. One bumpy ride later, we reached a wire-fenced compound. The second we arrived, Ice headed straight to feed the hungry pack. The other hounds were penned up, but they swarmed the fence desperate for their dinner. Suddenly, a reddish mutt let out a bizarre howl. It was not a bark or a growl. It was weird. He sounded just like a donkey. I almost died laughing. When the food arrived, the pack went absolutely feral. I stayed seated perfectly calm. Ice noticed and gave a small smile. "Not in a rush, huh?" He offered me some corn mash and checked my ribs. "Man, you are solid. Nothing but lean muscle. You have been eating well." Out of habit, I shook my head, making Ice realize something was wrong. He checked my ears and found a bloated tick. A second later, he plucked the nasty thing off. Another problem solved. The relief was so great that I decided right then I am never leaving this place. Dying alone in the wild sucked. With these guys, the worst I had to do was hunt boars. Content. I drifted off to sleep. Ice just mumbled, "You really think you are home, do not you?" I woke up to Ice munching on a meat bun. I sat up and nudged a metal bowl to his feet. Ice yelled out in shock, "Eight, check this out. The new guy is literally asking for breakfast." I slid the bowl toward Eight next. "Good boy," he muttered. Eight was a man of few words. He kept the praise coming, but even though they had not fed me yet, I did not get pushy. I just rattled the bowl and gave them a heartbreakingly sad look. Ice lost it laughing and hand-fed me. One bite and I was in heaven. The other dogs tried to copy me, but they were amateurs. Ice pushed the others back. The 2 men huddled together discussing their new genius companion. "This guy is a legend. He is brilliant. His previous owner must have been a professional trainer. He's probably been out here for months. That tight collar proves he has been growing on his own. Amazing, right? Just what was this beast eating in the wild?" Eight marveled. These muscles were pure steel, lean, dense, and perfectly nourished. A true predator of the peaks. I finished Ice's bun, then locked eyes with Eight, his expression stone cold and unreadable. Not a single crack in his armor. Fine then, time to unleash the ultimate cuteness skill. I wanted those buns. I sat tall, pressed my paws together in a perfect bow, and offered Eight a look of pure gratitude. "Thank you, master." Eight's resolve crumbled and he handed over 2 buns. Ice grinned. "This big guy needs a tune-up vaccines and deworming ASAP. And just like that, we left the kennel behind, passing a few stray dogs who watched our departure with curious eyes. Bath shots and meds, the full legendary glow-up. Once they blow-dried my fur, even I was stunned by my own handsomeness. Ice and 8 immediately started a photo shoot. My new look was about to break the internet. "Ha, check out this luck. Found this beast on the mountain last night." The comments exploded. "No way that dog is easily over 100 pounds. He'll never keep up on the trails. Just a useless mixed breed. A glorified stomach on 4 legs." 8's patience finally snapped. He'd heard enough. "If you don't know real power when you see it, keep your mouth shut. You think a pampered pet survives those peaks? To grow this massive alone in the wild requires true survival instincts. Hunting is in his blood. Sure, he's a great pet, but a beast this size will bankrupt you in dog food. Just watch. If my boy climbs that mountain and brings down a massive boar, what do you owe me? If he bags a boar, my gray wolf is yours. If not, I take your best hound. Deal, it's a bet." Ice tossed his phone aside, annoyed by the clueless haters. He then knelt before me, his eyes searching mine. "You won't let me down, right?" I nodded firmly. "Wait, is that a yes?" 8 just sighed at my human-like response. "You really think he understands you? He's probably just reading your facial expressions," 8 muttered skeptically. At the kennel, Ice pointed to a cage. "Are you kidding? I'm no prisoner." I dragged him straight toward the main house. Ice was powerless against my mountain-bred strength. "Where are you going?" I led him right to the front door. I raised a paw, hooked the handle, and popped the door open. Ice froze, his jaw hitting the floor in shock. A door-opening genius. And just like that, I officially secured my status as an elite indoor dog. I looked back to see Ice setting up a tripod. Turns out my new owner was a big-time content creator. I sat tall at his feet, peering curiously into the lens. Suddenly, a giant, majestic dog head hijacked the entire stream. "What is that A wolf, A bear?" The chat went wild as Ice burst into a triumphant, booming laugh. "Meet the legend, this dog is in a league of his own, scary, smart, and insanely friendly." I didn't catch him. He chose me. He even helped me haul a massive boar out of the woods last night. "Lies," someone typed. Ice fired back. "Why would I lie? This legend literally walked out of the wilderness." "He's a genius. Watch this." Ice aimed the camera at me and began rattling off high-level commands. I nailed every single one with flawless precision. Ice turned back to the camera with a smug, proud grin. "He needs a name worthy of a king. 8 and I are stumped. Any ideas from the chat?" "Call him Lucky." Ice's eyes sparkled. "Lucky, it's perfect. You're lucky now, buddy. What do you think?" I considered it, then gave a sharp, approving nod. "Check him out. He's actually contemplating the name. That face is priceless." A fan was so charmed by my expression, she dropped a sports car gift instantly. "Lucky, say thanks." I sat up immediately, paws together, performing a graceful bow for my new fans. The viewer laughed, sending another car. Ice cheered. "Oh, he's a natural-born superstar." Noted. Extra chicken leg for Lucky tonight. At the mention of chicken, my tail became a literal blur of pure joy. I sat by Ice watching the chat. Every time a gift popped up, I bowed automatically, no command needed. Work the crowd. The vibes were electric. As the stream ended, Ice beamed with satisfaction. "Lucky, that's your name for life now. You were the GOAT tonight." True to his word, he pulled a whole chicken from the freezer for me. I caught the feast mid-air with a wag of my tail. Not a bad haul for a single night's work. I stepped outside chicken and jaw. The local dogs swarmed, but I didn't acknowledge them. Small fry don't interest me. They were no match for my aura. Suddenly, a blue-gray hound leaped from its pen, eyeing my prize greedily. I prepared for battle, but the coward froze. It just watched from afar, drowning in envy of the new alpha. Day 1 complete. The next morning, during my break, 8 took a tense phone call and shouted for Ice. Trouble brewing. "Ice light rations at noon. We strike tonight." Ice replied, his voice laced with hesitation. "Should we bring Lucky? I hyped him up online, but he hasn't bagged a boar yet." "I'm worried he'll bolt, but 8 has faith. Bring him. That dog's a natural-born hunter. A boar hunting dog would be legendary. He'll run support since we lack armor for him." They prepped their gear that evening, bracing for the dangerous mountain ascent ahead. "Get over here, Lucky. Wear this GPS. Don't go losing it out there." Ice fitted my GPS collar, then grabbed a stack of heavy armor for the rest. Realizing the hunt was on the pack erupted into a wild, chaotic frenzy of excitement. How many hold dogs? I realized these armored pit mixes were the squad's frontline tanks. They were the frontline tanks, their scarred armor bearing the bloody marks of past wars. A massive tusker's fangs are lethal weapons not to be underestimated. Since this was my first hunt, I focused on learning their strategic formation. Tank was a coiled golden beast, while Titan was a red-coated warrior with white paws. I jumped into the enclosure, wishing I had hands to greet these battle-hardened warriors. The pack circled me with cold curiosity, no hostility, just sizing up the new guy. I eyed Fuzz suspiciously. A husky. Since when were sled dogs used for mountain hunting? 14 dogs were loaded up for the mission. The midnight hunt was finally on. 4 armored juggernauts refused to be cramped, taking up every inch of the truck. I deftly gripped the handle and hopped into the back seat for the long drive. Ice went live. We're on crop protection tonight. Just arrived at the target site. Drone's launching. Lucky's here to prove himself. Moments later, the thermal feed flared to life. The thermal scanner swept the darkness, instantly exposing every living heat signature for miles. The drone banked southwest, hunting for the shadows reported by the fearful local villagers. "Target spotted," 8 shouted. 3 boars in the woods, 500 meters ahead. Ice gripped his hunting blade and moved out. I slipped from the passenger seat, ready. A dozen hounds surged from the truck, instantly locking onto Ice's coordinates in total silence. Every dog stayed silent except for noisy ruckus. He hit the dirt howling. If the boars hadn't heard us, they definitely did now. The targets bolted Grizzly, and Dash launched forward like silent, lethal shadows. The rest of the pack saw the charge and surged after them like a wave. The slower hold dogs lagged behind, but I stayed put, locking eyes with Ice. He looked down. "Go!" Before the word escaped his lips, I was already gone. My Malinois blood burned with explosive power. In seconds, I blazed past the armored vanguard. Dash was a blur of pure speed. I couldn't catch him, but I shadowed Grizzly. The pack held back their full speed, waiting for a visual on the targets. The boars scattered Grizzly, and I closed the distance as they fled in panic. As the fastest trio, we broke away from the pack to lead the charge. We locked onto one target while Flurry led the others in a separate pursuit. The hold dogs followed Flurry, leaving us to chase our own target. 8 track. Lucky Ice radioed. "I want to see what this dog is truly capable of." Lucky glowed clearly on thermal, right on Dash's tail. He looked like a beast. Dash was flying until the boar suddenly braked, spinning around to launch a counterattack. Dash dodged the charge with lightning reflexes, pivoting away from the sharp tusks. Instantly, the tables turned. The boar was now giving chase. That's when Grizzly exploded forward, drawing the beast's fury so Dash could cut it off. Trapped between them, the boar froze in terror. I held back, observing the hunt. It was barely 100 pounds easy prey, yet their coordination was absolutely mesmerizing. They kept the beast spinning in circles, never letting it focus on a single target. I slipped into the shadows, flanking it. These wild monsters are notoriously hard to kill. Usually I'd exhaust them first, but this time the strategy had completely shifted. My mission was simple: hold it for the human. I lunged from the brush. It bolted. We hit top speed instantly. I lunged and clamped my jaws shut tight. "Easy now," 8 muttered through the drone. "Wait for the heavy hitters to arrive." He expected me to fail, but I wasn't letting go for anything. My primal instincts screamed a single command: once you bite, you never release. I wrenched its leg with raw power. The beast lost its balance and crashed down. Dash and Grizzly struck like lightning, pinning the boar's ears and front limbs. It thrashed wildly, but I shifted my grip, locking onto its snout with iron force. 8's voice exploded over the radio. "Lucky is incredible. It's a total lockdown." Ice was ecstatic. He tracked my GPS and sprinted toward the chaos at full speed. "I see them Lucky's got the nose lock. That beast isn't going anywhere." Minutes later, Ice arrived. His blade flashed, ending the struggle with one clean strike. The fight vanished instantly. Ice radioed the team. "Release the dogs. Next target." Distant baying echoed through the forest. I took off, charging toward the sound. The third boar was miles out. I pushed my massive frame to the limit. I tore through the dense tree line first, following the drone like a guided missile. Dash and I arrived to find a black dog barking furiously at a cornered beast. This was a 200-pound monster. One wrong move could be my last. The pack gathered a chorus of barks, wearing down the boar's remaining spirit. Suddenly, a reckless rookie darted in, trying for a desperate, poorly timed bite. The boar tossed him like a ragdoll and shattered our circle, bolting for freedom. But there was no escape. Another dog slammed into its flank from behind. It spun to retaliate, only to be intercepted by a fresh wave of attackers. The rookie was up but bleeding. A tense standoff began against those lethal tusks. Then came Ruckus the loudmouth, who had nearly ruined the ambush earlier. Without a shred of hesitation, he dived straight in and locked onto the ear. That fearless strike was the signal we were all waiting for. The moment Ruckus engaged, the entire pack swarmed the beast like a tidal wave. The boar slammed him into the earth, but Ruckus held on with a vice grip. Thank God for the armor. Without it, that hit would have been fatal. Now the boar was doomed. The rest of the pack surged in to finish it. Watching this, the team's professional hierarchy finally became crystal clear to me. First trackers find the prey. Then interceptors move in to contain the beast. Support dogs follow, ensuring the target has zero chance of escaping the perimeter. Finally, the hold dogs deliver the lockdown. Once they bite, the pack pounces. With a perfect hold, just a few elite dogs can neutralize any monster completely. The final reinforcements arrived. A bone-chilling shriek echoed throughout the entire mountain. Ruckus might be a loudmouth, but in battle he's a total demon. I felt a surge of respect. These were clever trackers and fearless warriors. They toyed with the beast, a perfect lethal symphony of primal hunting tactics. The thrill was addictive. I was finally starting to enjoy this game. Lunging forward, I clamped my jaws onto the boar's snout. Ice dashed in, ending the beast with a single decisive strike. 3 boars down, none escaped our hunt. Overjoyed, Ice praised the pack while waving at the drone overhead. Great job, guys. That was a masterpiece of a hunt. He patted my head warmly. Well done, Lucky. You're a total treasure. I barked back, basking in the praise. This dog is legendary. He's fast, fierce, and took down the first one solo. We struck gold with him. Yet I felt a strange, hollow emptiness. In my past life as a human, I was nothing but a failure. I'd wasted my years reaching middle age with 0 achievements. Now as a dog, I'm finally being hailed as a hero. Back home, Ice served me a whole chicken. A special feast for the MVP. I finished my meal and collapsed onto the steps. Drenched in mud and blood, I stayed outside. No point bringing the filth of the battlefield into the house. Dawn arrived far too early. Woken by a sudden ruckus, I jumped into the enclosure to see who was causing the stir. A black dog who had skipped last night's intense hunt was barking incessantly at absolutely nothing. But as I approached, it sensed my aura. It immediately cowered, tail tucked in silence. Feeling satisfied, I simply turned away. As I turned to leave, it started up again. Big mistake. I spun around and charged. This ends now. Submitting won't save you this time. Seeing my rage, it flattened itself, but I lunged and seized it by the throat. It yelped in terror, struggling as I dragged it into a doghouse. I wasn't about to let it wake the others. I didn't want blood, just respect. I squeezed until it trembled and wet itself in fear. Lesson learned. I finally let go. Fully awake, I patrolled the kennel like a king, inspecting every enclosure and its inhabitants one by one. I realized I had a soft spot for the handsome ones. Fuzz Flurry and Blizzard, they all had that striking, noble look. Ruckus was the outlier, not much to look at, but his goofy energy was uncontrollably lovable. He was a total klutz on the hunt, constantly blundering about, which made him the perfect source of entertainment. Seeing my fierce pack, I made a silent vow. Just wait. Once we go viral, you'll all be eating like kings. Across the yard, Ice awoke. He immediately clipped the footage of my epic boar takedown and shared it with his hunting circle. Look at this, everyone. Who was it that said my Lucky couldn't handle a real hunt? Ever seen a dog this fierce? He's got the build of a tank and the speed of a pro, soloing a 100-pound boar. He flooded the chat with ecstatic voice notes. The group was already buzzing. Many had witnessed my prowess on the live stream. They were stunned that a dog of my stature could be that fast and possess such a lethal iron grip. Even the rival who bet against Ice admitted defeat, offering to surrender his top-tier dog as per their agreement. Ice waved it off. Forget the bet we're friends. I could never take a prize dog that you value so much. You're a class act, Ice. Dinner's on me. But then another member stepped forward with a much bolder proposal. Ice, name your price for Lucky. On these hunts, one big tusker could end him. Don't let his talent go to waste. He'll live like royalty at my mansion. Ice scoffed. Stop talking nonsense. I'm not letting him go that easily. Lucky is a genius. No tusker is catching him. I'm not selling, not for any price. Not even for $1 million. I stared at Ice in shock. $1 million. Am I truly worth that much in this new life? Ice hopped onto his live stream and I took my place by his side. Morning, everyone. We bagged 3 boars last night. Meet Lucky, found on a mountain and already a pro hunter from day one. Take a look at this legend. Ice stroked my fur, beaming with pride. Thanks for the gift. Chi, Lucky's getting an extra chicken leg tonight, thanks to you. A whole chicken. I was the only dog in the kennel getting the VIP treatment. I remembered Chi well. She'd showered us with gifts before always asking for my special treats. She definitely deserved a proper thank you from me. I wagged my tongue and flashed a charming smile, performing a polite bow with my paws over and over. Suddenly, a high-level VIP requested a chat. Intrigued by the top supporter's interest, Ice hit the accept button. Lee, what's the word? Lee replied, Is Lucky for sale? I'll offer 100,000. Ice laughed. Any other dog is yours for free. You don't need to buy a dog from me, but Lucky, I'm not done seeing what this kid can do yet. I can't let him go, but if you want to meet him, come visit. I'll check my schedule and we'll set it up. A bit of advice. Lucky is a genius. Teach him tricks and post the clips. He's going to explode on this platform. He'll go viral. My ears perked up. Lee definitely had the vision of a top-tier supporter, but Ice just looked puzzled. I'm not exactly a camera pro, Lee explained with a patient smile. Just treat it like a social media post. You're always sending clips to the group anyway. Going viral takes time. You need a solid portfolio first. All right, I'll trust Lee on this one. Lucky's a natural-born star. Time to give the audience a taste. Ice aimed the lens at me, but his commands were way too easy. I decided to add my own flair. I reared up on my hind legs, pulled a full 360 spin, then transitioned into a front leg handstand. I finished by walking on just my front paws. The chat went dead silent, then exploded. This dog is legendary. A mountain of gifts poured in. As I bowed to thank the smaller donors, I suddenly barked, Thanks, Lee. The moment the megaplane notification hit the screen, I froze mid-bow. I dropped my paws, raised my tail end, and slammed my forehead into the dirt. Ice lost his mind. Who taught him that? Lee was stunned. I send a plane and he gives me a full kowtow. Now I'm blushing. Gotta send another. As Ice shouted his thanks, I slammed my forehead down again. Lee spoke for everyone in the chat. I'm genuinely jealous. How do you even find a dog like this? But Ice quit laughing. You're doing it wrong. You can't have him perform without a proper reward. That's not how training works. Every trick earns a treat. Lucky is a genius, but don't leave him hanging. Hearing that, I almost wanted to kowtow to Lee again. This guy actually gets it. Lee truly understood the canine soul. I let out 2 sharp barks to make my agreement crystal clear. Lee continued, Seriously, take care of Lucky. Done right, this dog will make you an internet sensation. Once you blow up, money won't be an issue. Understood, Lee. From tomorrow, Lucky eats what I eat. Not enough Lucky gets the premium stuff first. Great, now I'm officially ranked higher than my own owner. They chatted a bit longer before the stream ended. Immediately, the duo sat down to feast while I watched. Ice tossed a spare rib bone onto the dirt. I just stared at it. Seriously? A dry bone. Just a bone on the floor. Not happening. I opened my mouth to complain, letting out a grumbling bark. 8 grinned at me. All right, no scraps for Lucky. He split his own meal and set it before me. Steamed buns and greens. Now that's acceptable. I bowed to 8 and gave Ice a massive side-eye. Ice looked genuinely wounded. Lucky's glaring at me. 8 turned serious. All right, let's talk business. We head out tonight. Same area. Villagers say there's at least a dozen boars out there now. Tonight we finish the job. That evening, the 2 of them began gearing up the hunting pack. As Ice fitted my GPS collar, he turned to 8. Should we order some tactical armor for Lucky? Let's do it. Lucky is a real fighter. Armor will keep him safe. He's the perfect lead dog. The lineup for tonight was mostly the same as the previous hunt. Once my tracker was live, I took my spot in the back. Soon we pulled up to the site. The drone took flight, but the battery was nearly dead and nothing was found. They moved to a new spot. Finally, the thermal picked up signatures 400 meters out past a massive mountain ravine. 8 called out to Ice urgently. Target spotted, but it's all open terrain out there. Rough going. Ice stared at the feed, his jaw tight. We go. Here's the plan, I move out first. Once I clear the ridge, release the dogs. That way they don't get too far ahead. 8 nodded. Ice climbed out with his knife and radio, but I thought, why make this so complicated? I'll just pin the boars until he arrives. The moment Ice stepped out, I vanished into the darkness. Ice spun around, unable to stop me. Quick, get eyes on Lucky. 8 swung the drone around as I crested a ridge, launching off a cliff and scaling a steep slope. 8 stared at the screen in pure disbelief. What this dog literally knows, Kung Fu. He turned to Ice. Lucky is charging the boars. He's moving fast. Keep pushing forward. If he can hold them, I'll release the pack. Ice agreed and sprinted in my direction. Meanwhile, I followed my nose, locking onto the boars. At 100 meters, I shifted into stealth mode. Ice and 8 both reacted instantly. Incredible. Lucky isn't just a dog. He's a master hunter. Did you see that Lucky is slowing down to maintain stealth? He's making sure he doesn't spook the target. That's pure predatory instinct, something ordinary dogs just don't have. Little did I know I was blowing everyone's minds just by tracking. As I drew closer, I spotted the whole sounder of boars. Strangely, not a single one was standing. Look, every single one was fast asleep. I silently circled behind them, planning to herd the entire pack right toward Ice. At 10 meters, the alarm went off. 6 or 7 boars scrambled up and bolted in a blind panic. I lunged after them, keeping my distance. I was matching their pace perfectly, like a shadow they couldn't shake. 8's jaw dropped while watching the drone. Unreal Lucky is actually herding them straight back to our position. The livestream chat went nuclear. I pushed the herd directly toward that massive cliff I'd passed earlier. I let out a thunderous bark to terrify them, then charged full tilt to force them over the edge. But they weren't mindless. No beast leaps to its death unless cornered. The herd split, scattering wildly to both sides. I hit max speed, closing the gap in seconds. I was right on the tail of the stragglers. Suddenly, the alpha boar spun around to countercharge. Too bad for him, I've already memorized every move they have. That countercharge was so predictable. I braked hard, pivoted, and lured the beast into chasing me instead. Piece of cake. I led it on a chase before it finally stalled. When I turned back, I didn't engage head-on. I had better plans. I circled its flank. No beast wants to expose its back. Sensing the threat, it lunged at me once more. I kept zigzagging, dragging it through exhausting turns. 8 was so mesmerized, he completely forgot to release the other dogs. He was glued to the screen, dying to see my next move. Even Ice was left absolutely speechless by my performance. I'm at a loss for words. Lucky is insane. Post this. He's literally playing with that boar like it's a toy. The global chat exploded with, Lucky is a legend, a spam. A top whale even dropped a mega gift. Meanwhile, this 200-pound boar was finally starting to lose its breath. As its stamina drained, its courage crumbled. It tried to flee exhausted, but I was just getting started. Running away already, I trailed it at a leisurely pace. The beast had absolutely zero fight left in its soul. It just kept running. I blocked every path trying to force it off the cliff, but it stubbornly refused. Time to turn up the heat. I lunged through the air and sank my teeth into its ear. Elsewhere, Ice finally cleared the cliffside. Spotting the stream, he yelled, Lucky's got a hold of it. Go, go. 8 unleashed the dogs. Without missing a beat, 8 threw the doors open and let them loose. The pack had already caught the scent and were practically vibrating with bloodlust inside the truck. They scrambled out in a frenzy, the lead dogs disappearing instantly into the pitch-black night. As I held on, the boar thrashed, trying to snap at me with its tusks. Huh, I saw that coming a mile away. A split second later, I pivoted and clamped down even harder on its massive ear. Racked with pain, the boar bolted. I let go this time. My mission was clear. I'm driving this beast off the cliff. I didn't expect the beast to spiral into such a total panic when I closed in again. It threw itself off the ledge in desperation. Peering over, I saw it struggle. One of its front legs was clearly shattered. Now that's what I'm talking about. Satisfied, I found a path down. No freaking way. Lucky actually forced that beast off the cliff. Did you see? His entire plan was a strategic drop to end it instantly. He just didn't expect the fall to be too short to finish the job. 8 was stuck on repeat saying, "No way." The chat was pure chaos. This was beyond legendary. A dog using high-level tactics and terrain advantage, insane. By the time I reached the bottom, the boar was paralyzed. Suddenly, Ice rushed over. Turns out the guy is actually a total badass. He unsheathed his blade to finish it. Worried the beast might lash out in its death throes, I stepped in. I lunged, pinning its head by the ear. The cold steel found its mark and the boar finally went still. Ice grabbed my head, beaming. "My boy, how on earth are you this amazing?" I puffed out my chest with pride. "Please, that was just a warm-up. Make sure you got my good side." This whole show was for the fans and the donations. Soon the other dogs arrived. The boar was finished, but the pack piled on anyway. "It's over, boys. You saw Lucky's godly moves, right? Lucky is a total monster. Now let's track the distance of the second beast." 8 barely finishes his sentence before the rogue boar reappears. The drone locks on at 200 meters. "Time for a gamble." 8 hits the radio. "Ice, we've got a target 200 meters out." The pack catches the scent instantly. Dash leads the charge as a dozen dogs surge forward in a perfect line. I join the vanguard, but this prey is clever. It's already bolting before we can even close the gap. Boars struggle on slopes, though. I'm right on its tail before it can even breathe. The beast suddenly pivots to strike. I dodge effortlessly, while the other dogs narrowly avoid its tusks behind me. Lala, the armored tank, closes in from behind. Usually docile Lala transforms into a demon against a boar. She doesn't hesitate, locking her jaws onto its ear. The boar shrieks and thrashes, tossing Lala through the air. Yet her grip remains unbreakable. Axe strikes like lightning, launching a diving bite that anchors the beast's front leg. Scouts wait for an opening, but once the hold is set, they swarm. Hothead charges in seizing the other ear. I seize the hind leg in a flash, pulling back with every ounce of my strength. The boar's power fades as its leg lifts. Suddenly, the whole pack swarms. The prey is trapped with zero escape. Ice arrives, but there isn't even a gap left for his blade. 600 is dying for a taste, but the formation is airtight. At this rate, no boars will remain. 8 recalls the drone ends the stream and rushes over to secure the kill. Returning late 8 begins the butchering immediately. By the time he finishes, Ice has already fed the pack. 8 brings out breakfast. Without missing a beat, I snatch my bowl and fall into formation right behind him. 8 chuckles. "Dig in, buddy. I ordered special low-salt pork buns just for your heroic efforts today." Now that's a reward. I nod in approval, but Ice's phone starts vibrating like crazy as he eats. The hunting group chat is absolutely blowing up. A clip of me driving that boar off the cliff went viral among the professional dog handlers in the group. The experts are stunned. Every move I made displayed god-tier intelligence and elite hunting instincts that redefined the sport. This isn't just a dog, it's a genius in fur. I have to admit the truth. Most dogs can't match a wild animal's instinct, but Lucky is smarter than any beast in the woods. I'm a believer now. Seriously, Ice, how did a guy like you end up with such a legend? Ice grins and fires back. Who else has a god-tier lead dog who can solo a 250-pound boar? This isn't luck, it's destiny. Lucky chose us because he recognized our kind spirits from the start. No joke. Lucky is officially the greatest hunting dog in the entire nation. Challenge me if you want, but I wouldn't trade him for all the gold in the world. Good man. Exhaustion finally hits Ice. He pats my head, muttering that the world can wait until he wakes up. I'm beat too. After a quick apple snack, I drift off only for a video call to ruin Ice's rest. Ice answers, totally annoyed. I'm sleeping, the voice barks back. You'll have eternity to sleep when you're dead. You'll be 6 feet under long before I ever kick the bucket, old man. They bicker until Ice snaps. Get to the point. The reply comes, let me borrow Lucky for a few days. Borrow him? Never, I'd sooner lend you my wife, your wife. Man, you better hope she doesn't hear that. How did a loser like you find such a masterpiece? If he were mine, I'd build him a golden shrine. I'd bow to him every morning and kick my wife out of bed just to cuddle with him at night. Lucky's right here. Bow to the screen if you're serious. I hop on the bed to see this crazy fan. Uncle Lee sees me and loses his mind. Lucky, come stay with your Uncle Lee for a bit. Time to turn on the charm. I stick out my tongue and give him my most adorable winning smile. Lee roars with laughter. What a good boy, I'm coming to see you soon. Then his expression turns grave. Ice, protect that dog with your life. You're reckless, and I'm terrified you'll lose him. Please, I'm literally begging you. Guard him well. Ice straightens his back. I hear you loud and clear. I'll protect him with everything, I promise. The call ends and Ice instantly snatches the sausage from my mouth. No more junk food. It is pure poison. We will craft legendary high-protein sausages ourselves from real meat. Realizing I am getting a gourmet upgrade, I grab a final treat for my brothers at the kennel. Ice watches in total shock. Is he even a dog or some kind of high-level spirit? Sharing his own food, he even threw away the wrapper. This intelligence is off the charts. Dogs looking after dogs. Unreal 8 scrambles to record this viral gold on his phone. The backlog is insane, yet fresh content keeps piling up. Posting takes forever for these two. They finally drop the hunting footage. I lean in from the side to judge their work. Honestly, 8 is a mess at editing. It is clunky and misses the raw fury of the hunt. My solo shots are decent, but the background music absolutely horrific choices for a star. These amateurs need a professional. Soon enough, the fans start swarming the comments section. New fans are baffled by my speed, guessing I must be Dash or the legendary Grizzly. Ice steps in to set the record straight, posting a high-definition photo of me. The shot is flawless. With my ears tall and sharp, the internet officially loses its mind. He knows how to stalk pigs are clever, but they have met their match today. Lucky dominated, taking down a 250-pound boar solo. Captain Wang is stunned. Is that my dog? Captain Wang asks. Ice spends the night gloating in the group chat. He spends hours bragging about me, nearly triggering a full-scale riot among the other hunters. Since he treats me like royalty, I will play along and let him show me off. Morning rain dampens the earth. Our mountain hunt is officially delayed for a few hours. Ice gets a call. Captain Wang is coming over to hunt with us for a few days. Time to prep. Let us clear some space and get the portable pens ready for guests. I will find a prime location where both elite teams can dominate the field together. 2 vehicles roll up packed with elite dogs. Ice greets them with a confident grin. 8 forces a smile. Captain Wang is a tank definitely not built for light drone work. He is the commander. The second he steps out, he is hunting for me. Where is Lucky? I stay on the steps. If I can keep my paws pristine, I am not touching mud. Ice notices my refusal and laughs. Lucky is just extremely disciplined and very well behaved. He just hates the rain. Ice adds. Captain Wang nods. Plenty of elites are neat freaks. He walks over. What a monster, over 100 pounds. He reaches out to pet me. I dodge his hand. You showed up empty-handed. Seriously? I give him a judging glare. He misses the hint and pets me anyway. Ice, did you really just find this beast? Why would I lie? You are a pro. Could a house pet ever pull this off? Captain Wang agrees. He releases his pack and the 2 groups begin sizing each other up. Suddenly a crowd surrounds me. No treats, just staring and unwanted touching. How annoying. They are kneading my head and checking my teeth like I am a statue. Enough is enough. I have had it. I push through the crowd, enter the house, and slam the door. The crew bursts out laughing. He is done. 8 then pulls the captain for editing help. Back in the day, these 2 were clueless. Captain Wang was their original content sensei. With the master's help, the video is polished and posted while the hype is still fresh. After dinner, we gear up. I am the non-negotiable ace for this elite night mission. Captain Wang brought his legends, so our team is only bringing the top-tier hunters along. The rookies stay home. This elite squad needs a challenge worthy of their hidden power. 8 scans the data and picks the deadliest boar zone. The convoy finally moves out. 3 vehicles deep, Ice looks back at me, sprawled out. "You have claimed the whole seat." I remember when I was the one pinned down. My gaze remains cold. He should be grateful I'm not crushing his spirit. We reach the village outskirts as the squads convene. 8 points to the shadows. These beasts have turned this land into a wasteland. Ice and I failed our first encounter here. Make no mistake, these creatures possess a terrifying, predatory cunning. Divide and conquer left road and right. 2 drones roar into the night, splitting off to maximize our tactical vision. Minutes later, a target emerges from the dark. Damn, it's far too close to the civilian perimeter. Use the drone to flush him out. Unleashing the hounds here is too risky for the villagers nearby. A wrong move could send that monster charging into homes. Despite the hour, the village still hums with life and hidden danger. Knowing the beasts despise the drone's mechanical buzz, 8 uses the noise to drive the target away. After 300 meters, the beast digs in, refusing to budge. 8 maneuvers the drone high to scout a new extraction path. Ice growls about their craftiness. This won't be easy, but we can't let them haunt the village gate. For this squad, the stream is just a show. Their true mission is the absolute defense of the harvest. If the kill isn't possible, banishment is the only option. They must drive the menace into the deep wilderness. Ice proposes a gambit. We send Lucky and Solo to pin the target, then unleash the full pack for the strike. Even if they scatter, Lucky is disciplined enough to retreat. 8 gives a sharp nod before facing Captain Wang. "Captain, the gap is too wide, they'll flee. Let Lucky anchor them first. Then we drop the hammer." Just like the legend suggested. Captain Wang, eager to witness my prowess, grants his immediate approval. "Execute!" Ice flings the door open, releasing me into the cold night air. I've tasted their scent for miles. As my paws hit the earth, I launch toward the target with lethal intent. With elite spectators, observing failure is not an option. It's time to show them true power. The stream goes live as Ice focuses on me. He challenges the viewers. Witness the legend. Watch Lucky dominate Solo. Suddenly, 8's voice cracks with adrenaline. He's making his move. The beast is shifting course. I'm executing a flanking maneuver to drive the prey into the trap. Tonight I'm weaving an even wider net. This prey is on high alert. I must be a ghost. I vanish, scaling the ridge directly behind the beast. On the screen, the ignorant viewers begin to jeer. Look, the mud is tucking tail and running. They don't see the strategy. 8 shuts them down. Fools, Lucky is setting the stage for a massacre. His intelligence is terrifying. Captain Wang watches the feed, his eyes burning with a desire to possess such a beast. Undetected, I reach the summit. The boars remain oblivious as I position myself on the blind side of the slope. Even the skeptics in the chat finally realize the brilliance of my silent tactical approach. The experts recognize the rarity of this hunt. 8's heartbeat quickens. Captain, get the pack ready. It's time. I reach the peak, my senses sharpening, until I can feel the boar's very pulse. Like a thunderbolt, I descend. The group scatters in panic, but as I hit the base, I see the true threat. A titan among beasts stands before me, a massive creature with the heart of a warrior. He doesn't flee. He turns to shield his kin, his jagged tusks, gleaming with lethal sharp intent. A direct confrontation will be a bloodbath. One wrong move and this hunt ends in tragedy. 8 screams. It's a big tusker. Lucky has him pinned. Let the hounds loose. The cages fly open. 12 hounds erupt into the night, a chaotic wave of teeth that quickly snaps into a deadly formation. The vanguard charges, but I won't wait. I refuse to let my brothers face this monster's wrath alone. He's a fortress of muscle, over 300 pounds of bristling fury with razor-sharp steel for teeth. Respect the beast or die. I need to drain his stamina before the real fight begins. I weave past the titan, launching a feint toward the smaller ones to break his focus. Enraged, the big tusker roars and charges, obliterating the cornstalks. I ignite my speed instantly. The lethal dance begins, me hunting his young while the monster thunders behind me like a coming storm. I can't draw him too far away or my weary packmates won't have the strength to finish the job. I pivot, baiting the titan back toward our line. But this beast is wise. He knows when to conserve energy. Believing the threat has passed, he halts. The second he stops, I dive back in to reignite his fury. 8 reads the situation perfectly. He's kiting the beast, systematically draining its vitality. This hound's agility on open terrain is legendary. I have all the space I need to dominate. I keep flanking it, striking the rear to force endless circles. Finally, the monster snaps and charges. But these beasts are cunning. After a futile chase, it realizes I'm far out of its league. It attempts a desperate retreat. You think you're escaping. Not on my watch. I lunge forward, sinking teeth into its haunch before vanishing back into the shadows. The psychological warfare continues. Big Tusker has raw strength, but his massive frame is burning fuel fast. Every single exchange is executed at absolute maximum velocity. Soon the Titan is gasping drool leaking from its maw. My own lungs are burning too. Lucky's prowess is terrifying. His footwork is flawless, leaving the beast unable to land a single strike. Dash leads the reinforcements into the fray. The vanguard spots the target and signals the pack. Pure panic takes hold of the Titan as it enters a final desperate death sprint. I hold back for now. This monster is massive. We need the armored heavies to secure the perimeter. These veterans don't take risks. They maintain distance, relentlessly harassing the beast with calculated precision. After a short pursuit, Big Tusker realizes he's trapped and turns for a final stand. 6 elite hounds circle him, their coordinated barking, driving the massive creature into a mindless frenzy. A hound is always at its heels, forcing the Titan into a tense, agonizing dance of death. The pack is relentless. Some strike from the front to lock its gaze and maintain focus. Others flank to keep it off balance. I can't resist. Swift scouts initiate the lockdown. Box him in. This final standoff before the kill is the peak of the hunt's adrenaline. 2 heavy hitters, Panther and Hothead, are the first to reach the scene like thunderbolts. Hothead is battling an old injury. His gait is uneven, but his fighting spirit remains unbroken. Ice calls his chaotic running style messy, yet he still arrives in second place. Panther lunges with a testing strike, but the Titan's powerful neck sends him tumbling into the dirt. It tries to flee, but I burst forward, locking my jaws onto its rear leg like steel. The monster spins to crush me, but this time I refuse to break my hold. The sheer force of its rotation sends me airborne, swinging me completely out of its reach. It can't find its target. Its leg is screaming in agony, so it lunges the other way. As long as I maintain this grip, it can't touch me. But boars are dangerously intelligent. It suddenly collapses its entire weight, trying to crush my skull underneath. I didn't see it coming. No beast has ever used that tactic. For a split second, I'm actually pinned down. I wrench my head free. That move just made me furious. Now it's personal. I won't charge those tusks head on, but that opening was all the heavy dogs needed. Hothead seizes an ear instantly. I pivot past him, aiming straight for the beast's snout. Another hound locks the second ear. Big Tusker thrashes violently, trapped in a nightmare of pain. Anchored from both sides, it can't build momentum. Those lethal tusks are now completely neutralized. With its snout in my grip, even this giant can only let out a pathetic, helpless wail. A dozen hounds swarm the beast instantly. Late arrivals can't find an opening. 8 is losing his mind. Unbelievable. Lucky is a true legend. Solo holding the leg before executing a perfect snout takedown. Finish it. Ice go for the final strike. We brought down the king like it was nothing. The chat explodes with, "Lucky is a beast." The audience goes wild as gift effects flood the screen. What an incredible rush. Is the pack all right? Did anyone take a hit? Ice inspects the hounds one by one, checking for wounds. I'm the first on his list. My face is crimson with blood, but it's all from the boar. I'm completely unscathed. We're clear. No injuries. Call the pack back and track the rest of the herd immediately. Somebody help haul this beast. Chubby Captain Wang huffs over. Don't let the wheezing fool you. He's got hidden strength. He actually hauls the massive boar alone, gasping for air but finishing the job. Then he showers me with praise. Lucky is on another level. He hunts like a grandmaster, knowing exactly when to strike or hold back. His timing is legendary. Ice beams with pride, knowing Lucky would dominate these mountains even without him. Boar size doesn't matter to a beast like him. Meanwhile, 8 has already calculated our next tactical route. The target is 200 meters away. Ice gives the green light. This distance is nothing for our squad. We strike as one unit. Lucky can't carry the team forever. The engines roar as the vehicles reposition. The drone pilots lead on foot, and then the signal is given release the entire pack at once. The dogs explode from the trucks like starving tigers. They're zeroing in on a group of sows and piglets. I decide to take it easy trailing behind the leaders. It's not fatigue, these targets just aren't worth my full power. Sows are amateur hour compared to real boars. They lack that ferocious bone-crushing counterattack that makes hunts dangerous. A sow panics when she smells a predator. Predictably, they abandon their young and vanish into the brush. But as the pack closes in on the piglets, the formation completely shatters into chaos. Several dogs, including Dash and Grizzly, get distracted. Only I and another dog pursue the sow before I split. I'm not sharing this kill. I break away determined to take down a target completely solo. I trust my instincts and shift into overdrive. The sow is a blurred shadow racing along the cornfield's edge. She's fast, but I'm a predator. After a long sprint, I close the gap and sink my fangs in. A piercing screech echoes out, but she's too terrified to fight. She only wants to run from my grip. This 100-pound beast is finished. Looking back, I realize we covered 2 entire kilometers in that chase. Wait, there's another lone dog holding a boar down nearby. He's struggling all on his own. He's been barking for backup, but everyone else is busy. The veteran dogs are too distracted to care. Ice surveys the battlefield and heads to me first. "Good boy, Lucky," he whispers, overflowing with pride. He secures the boar in record time. The moment the knot is tied, I've already vanished into the night. I'm off to save that lone dog. They've already migrated hundreds of meters up into the terrace fields. Hunting in the dead of night is brutal on the body. The constant sprinting turns my blood to fire. I run with my tongue out, trying to shed the heat. Dogs don't have it easy like humans. Our cooling is primitive. 8 spots my silhouette and starts the commentary. "Lucky is unstoppable. He's charging into his 3rd battle tonight. This dog is a literal monster. Once Lucky sets his sights on you, it's game over. Smash that like button for our hero, everyone." Huge shout out to Dong for the carnival gift. "Your support tonight has been absolutely legendary, my friend. Dong, you're the VIP tonight. Just name whatever you want to see, and it's yours." Suddenly, my heat signature flares on the thermal scope, a streak of white-hot lightning screaming toward the next target. But even a god has limits. 3 back-to-back fights and a long solo hold are finally taking their toll. As I near the fray, I consciously throttle my pace. I need to recover my stamina before the clash. 8 notices the drop in speed and gets nervous. Is Lucky finally hitting his limit? He's slowing down. "Don't overdo it, buddy." But as I reach the target, I don't launch a savage attack immediately. I let out a massive bored yawn and just flop onto the grass. The boar isn't going anywhere. He's taking a nap mid-hunt. 8 is speechless. I've never seen a dog with this much audacity. He hits the radio. Ice Lucky is in position, but he's resting. Get the reinforcements moving now. By now, the boar is just as spent. It stands frozen, locked in a stalemate with the dog. That lead dog was about to break, but seeing me arrive gives it a massive surge of adrenaline. It regains its courage, holding the line. I rest for 20 full minutes before finally standing to stretch. Lucky is back on his feet. In the blink of an eye, I lunge and tear into the flank. Terrified, the boar tries to pivot, but I'm already there. Another lead dog joins the fray, biting hard. This boar has completely lost its spirit. There's no fight left, only the desperate urge to flee the scene. Seeing the beast stall, I move in to bait it once more. This time, I skillfully cut off the lead dog to isolate the boar. My maneuver drives the massive creature directly into the waiting jaws of our pack. 8 looks absolutely stunned, like he's seen a ghost. Did you guys just witness that level of genius? Lucky is methodically breaking it down again. This dog's IQ is off the charts. This beast is just as huge as the first one. He could end this alone. But why waste energy? How can anyone compete with a dog that thinks 3 steps ahead? The chat is exploding, with everyone demanding this dog get a college scholarship. Suddenly, Dong goes wild, spamming 10 massive gifs in a row. 8 is begging him to stop, but the hype is unstoppable. Meanwhile, I hear the pack closing in. Sensing the moment, I cease the pressure and let the exhausted boar stand its ground. As Dash and Patches arrive, I strike like lightning, clamping onto the ear. This is the art of the Master Scout. In this game, the first one to latch on dictates the flow. I set the mark and the rest of the warriors charge in behind me. The boar is finished. Its spirit is broken. Within 60 seconds, the heavies arrive. I release my hold and step back, breathing heavily, but satisfied. Target neutralized. A flawless execution. That's 3 boars tonight. Lucky is a living legend. But tonight, every dog is an elite predator. Before Ice can even reach the scene, the pack has already overwhelmed the beast. 30 minutes later, 8's voice crackles over the radio. We've got 2 more targets on the radar. It's clear the boar infestation is spiraling out of control. The hunters huddle up to map out their next tactical strike. The new targets are lurking right on the edge of a thick, treacherous forest. If I chase them into the woods, the terrain becomes a nightmare for the pack. These 2 are monsters. After a tense silence, the plan begins to form. "We send Lucky in first," someone suggests. "Let him pin one down." I bark in agreement, ready for the hunt. 8 adds, "Lucky probably hates the woods too. He won't be able to use his usual tactics in that brush." I leap from the truck alone in the dark. 8 hypes up the stream. "Eyes open, everyone, you're about to see greatness." It's time for my signature move, the wide flanking intercept. The path ahead is mine. I tear through the dense undergrowth, stalking the tree line. But these 2 boars are different. They aren't running. They're standing their ground, daring me to approach. It's a challenge. 8 roars into the radio. Ice release the hounds. Lucky has them cornered. Both gates fly open and the dogs surge out like a tidal wave of fury. The drone team sprints right behind them. I keep the pressure high, driving the boars along the terrace. Suddenly, one beast hits a dead end against a massive wall and stops ready to fight. I'm just biding time for my allies. Where's the backup? The pack arrives, but the terrace wall is a mountain to them. They scramble at the base, desperately searching for a way up. Ruckus, always the hothead, is losing his mind. Trapped below, he howls with enough rage to wake the dead. But Dash, with his incredible athleticism, clears the obstacle in a single graceful leap. He joins me to keep the beast pinned. Ice finally catches up. He finds a lower ledge and starts hoisting the other dogs up one by one, brute forcing them over. The pack quickly encircles the boar, but tension fills the air. Every movement is calculated. They shift constantly, suffocating the boar with psychological pressure. 8 is already tasting victory. Then disaster strikes. Lala lunges through the circle and sinks her teeth into the boar's ear with a lethal snap. The boar erupts in a blood-curdling shriek. It thrashes its head with such violence that Lala is lifted completely off her feet. With a sudden burst of primal strength, the boar charges toward the ledge. The other dogs skitter to a halt at the edge of the drop. It's too high to follow. No one dares the jump. When Lala slams into the dirt below, she's forced to let go. But before she can even recover, the boar is already on her. It lowers its head for a devastating countercharge. It hooks its snout upward with brutal force, launching poor Lala into the air like a rag doll. The beast has snapped. It's no longer trying to escape, it's out for blood and it's locked onto Lala. 8 can only watch in horror. "It's going to kill her," he screams. The pack is stuck above helpless, but I'm not. As the monster prepares to deliver the finishing blow to my teammate, I dive off the wall. I close the gap in a heartbeat and sink my fangs deep into the boar's flank. It shrieks, abandoning Lala to face me instead. My plan is simple: keep spinning and stay clear of those deadly razor-sharp tusks. The boar thrashes so violently, it tears its own flesh right out of my jaws. The sudden agonizing shock completely paralyzes the beast. 8 brings the drone in low, spotlighting the carnage. Once he sees Lala is still alive, he frantically reaches for the radio. Ice lunges forward. Lala is severely injured and bleeding. It looks fatal. Several hounds risk the drop, but lacking backup, they hesitate to strike. Ice descends, the wall blade drawn. He ditches the sheath and charges. I'm stunned. Facing a boar with a tiny knife, I bite its ear. Lethal tusks graze my throat, and I am completely unprotected. Pure danger. Ice suddenly mounts the beast and stabs with terrifying speed. The beast emits a blood-curdling, agonizing shriek. It thrashes wildly, but Ice holds firm, shouts, "Release!" and leaps away. Having slain thousands of boars, Ice's killing technique is flawlessly lethal. A single clean, heart-piercing strike. Once Ice strikes, no prey escapes alive. Right on cue, the beast collapses. Ice checks my condition immediately. I am clean, so he rushes to Lala. I follow, worried for her. Ice sighs in relief. Her abdomen is torn, but her vitals are intact. She will live. Ice expertly staples the wound, performing emergency field surgery. Brave Lala endures the painful procedure without even a single flinch. Captain Wang arrives, praising Lucky's incredible courage as the team converges. Without Lucky's heroic rescue, Lala was doomed. The viewers are moved. Lucky has brains and soul. That final strike protected the human too. Concerned for Lala, Ice abruptly cuts the live stream to save her. Signing off, brothers. Lala needs urgent medical care right now. Using jackets as a stretcher, they rush her home. I take the floor. Her vest left her abdomen exposed. It was a tragic stroke of luck. A direct hit to her vitals. Thankfully, her steady breath signals survival. Back at base, the team scrambles to begin her proper medical treatment. They skillfully stitch her up and administer life-saving injections. I refuse to leave her side. She won't even eat her favorite treats. Ice marvels at me, saying I have evolved into a sentient spirit dog. He senses danger and even judges the prey's lethality before striking. Genius. He usually avoids tusks, but he risked everything tonight to save me. Glad you noticed, but you are the reckless one charging that beast. I stand guard by Lala's side, ready to bark for help instantly. Dawn breaks, but Lala remains motionless, refusing both food and water. I bring her fresh milk, hoping the irresistible scent sparks her appetite. She barely drinks. It is clear she has a grueling recovery ahead. Suddenly, the phone explodes. Fans everywhere are desperate for Lala news. Ice checks his phone and is stunned by the wave of messages. Most are from female fans. Since when did Ice become a heartthrob? He goes live immediately to address the overwhelming concern of the fans. "Hey guys, it is Bloody Hands. I am the hunter from yesterday's clip." To everyone asking about our brave girl, here is the official update. Her wounds are treated. She just needs rest to regain her spirit. The chat erupts in relief as Captain Wang's squad prepares for departure. Ice bids them farewell while the captain jokes about my dating life. I roll my eyes and bark, clearly unimpressed by his matchmaking skills. With a hearty laugh, they depart, leaving Ice to restore peace. During dinner, 8 drops a bombshell on Ice. A legendary big brother is visiting tomorrow. Right on cue, the guest arrives with an explosive handshake and a massive bear hug. 8 feels a bit shy and offers a simple nod, but Dong just brushes it off with a grin. Talk later. Where's Lucky? The big guy charges straight for me, wrapping me in a chaotic hug and planting a massive kiss on my head. Lucky, you're a total legend. I'm your brother Dong. It's finally time we met, buddy. Since he clearly adores me, I'll show him some love. I flash a goofy smile, wag my tail, and offer him a polite paw. Good boy, I brought a mountain of treats, toys, a new bed, and even a blow dryer. Everything a king needs. After fussing over me for ages, Dong finally checks on Lala, before he even bothers acknowledging 8 and Ice. 8 Ice put me to work, but they insist, "You're our guest, we can't let you start scrubbing floors just yet." When asked about a hotel, Dong makes it clear he's here for the long haul. 8 laughs. "Fine, then you're bunking with me." By evening, Ice is whipping up a feast for the pack, with Dong acting as his enthusiastic kitchen assistant. With Dong in town, it's a celebration. The dogs get a major upgrade tonight. Chunky beef simmered with golden cornmeal. These pups had never tasted beef before. They tear into the feast like savages, growling and snapping to claim their spot at the bowl. Belle even sparks a full-on brawl with a younger dog until I step in to shut the chaos down. After the meal, Dong preps a large basin of warm water and calls me over for a luxury spa session. I figured a warm bath sounded pretty legendary, so I hopped right into the basin without making a single fuss. Watching me bask in the pampered attention, Ice can only sigh. Who on earth raised this spoiled dog? He's a mixed breed, yet he's treated like royalty. But Dong just beams. Why not Lucky as a genius? Everyone loves him. After my bath, Dong heads out to scrub the kennel. He doesn't mind the mess at all. He's a natural worker. He's working hard to earn his keep, but 8 still thinks he's just here for a fun little vacation. 8 plots a hardcore hunt to show Dong the brutal reality of hauling boars over jagged ridges, hoping to scare him off. But the moment Dong hears they're hitting the hills, he's absolutely hyped and ready for action. "I want to get into the thick of it with ice," Dong shouts, but 8 just shakes his head in disbelief. "This terrain is brutal, nothing but steep drops and blind gullies. Tonight, just follow our lead and get a feel for the mountain." 8 and Ice head to bed, but Dong is too wired to sleep. He sits up feeding me, and Lala snacks all night long. As darkness settles, the silence is shattered by the familiar rumble of the pickup truck rolling in. Every single dog in the kennel springs to their feet. Ruckus lets out an urgent whine. The hunt is calling. They all know the truck means one thing: heading up the mountain to hunt wild boar. The hype is real. As the team fits trackers and armor vests, the other dogs bounce with joy, but I quietly step back and turn away. Ice watches me, his voice full of worry. "Fine, no tracker. Just please don't run off and leave me lucky. If you vanish, it'll crush me." I know the truth about that tracker. It's not about finding my way home. It's a digital leash designed to make sure I never escape back into the wild where I truly belong. But if I refuse to wear it, there's nothing he can do. You can't force a dog like me to be caged. At departure, Dong grabs the wheel. Like a true off-road pro, he guns it, arriving a full 30 minutes ahead of schedule. 8 makes a quick call to the local villagers who emerge from the shadows to share the boar's latest location. One villager grips 8's hand desperately. "Those boars are out of control. They're raiding our livestock feed every night. If an elder or a child crosses their path, it'll be a bloodbath. You have to help us take them out." 8 nods with grim determination. "Don't worry. We're going to take down as many as we possibly can." He launches the drone into the night sky, scanning the forest, until he spots the massive sounder lurking outside the village. It's a huge group, a literal army of tusked monsters waiting in the dark. Dong drives us to the forest edge. The trees are dense and suffocating, so they decide to send me in first to flush them out. As I jump from the truck, Ice pats my head. "The canopy is thick in there, buddy. Stay safe and come back." I vanish into the woods, quickly catching the scent of the crushed undergrowth, where the beasts have been roaming. I let out a bone-chilling roar to spook them. The boars hear me, but they begin to move with unhurried arrogance. "Everyone check it out. Taking the field right now is our squad's #1 hunter, Lucky Fafo." Moving through this dense forest is a nightmare for most, but just watch how a legendary hunter like Lucky handles the pressure. Local villagers have already swarmed the area to witness the unfolding drama. Hidden by the tree line, I keep shifting angles to drive these beasts into the open. But the larger the sounder, the bolder they become, especially with a massive alpha leading. They barely flinch at my pressure, leaving the livestream viewers baffled by my movements. However, true hunting experts watch with pure admiration at the tactical display. After 30 minutes of grinding work, the boars finally break through the tree line. With dense forest nearby, Ice roars the command, "Release the hounds." The pack explodes forward, with Howler leading the charge like a silver bullet. His piercing sharp barks echo out, locking in the enemy's exact position. The pack converges on his signal, but the boars have already formed a defensive wall. The titans take the front, shielding the vulnerable piglets tucked safely behind them. Our lead dogs circle the formation, searching for a single opening to strike. Dash baits them from 2 meters away until a boar snaps and suddenly lunges. With lightning reflexes, Dash evades the strike and lures the beast away from its squad. The moment the formation breaks, Howler and Gale strike like a coordinated shadow. They pin the beast instantly, its desperate screams piercing the cold mountain air. It fights with demonic strength, eventually tearing itself free from the hold. I slip to the rear, calculating the perfect move to shatter their unity. As one boar drifts off, I intercept with a lethal clean bite to the ear. It thrashes wildly, trying to gore me with its razor-sharp, jagged tusks. But I stick to its flank like glue, staying safely in its blind spot. Meanwhile, the first boar rejoins the group, leaving the other dogs to swarm mine. Within seconds, the beast is locked down solid. He's down! He's down!" 8 yells. Ice moves in for the finish, but the enemy's heavy hitters mount a rescue. You have to respect it. Their pack loyalty is surprisingly fierce and deep. I disengage and flank the rear, targeting the instinct more powerful than loyalty. The second I move toward the piglets, the battlefield's energy shifts completely. The adults are forced to shield their young, abandoning their rescue mission entirely. With that one psychological move, I've paralyzed the entire sounder by myself. Ice crashes through the brush and delivers a swift clinical strike with his blade. The remaining sounder watches in horror as their comrade finally falls. Ruckus, that lovable fool, ignores the live threat and runs straight for the prize. Shaker and Hothead charge with such fury that the remaining boars finally bolt. Shaker snags one on the run, but the beast hurls him off with force. The hunt is on ice signals the chase, and I refuse to fall behind. I'm faster than the whole pack. In a few strides, I'm at speed. I sink my teeth into a hind leg, matching the beast's every desperate twist. It can't touch me. Moments later, Shaker and Hothead arrive for the kill. Hothead's latch is a thing of beauty, pure precision at full throttle. Shaker readjusts his grip as a wave of lead dogs floods the clearing. Some latch on while others pursue the remnants into the deep, dark woods. In the dense brush, some dogs lose their bearings and tangle in the growth. As the pack scatters, Ice arrives to finish off our second massive prize. The thrill of victory is intoxicating. I feel like a general leading a legendary charge. Finally, the villagers can sleep easy, knowing these monsters won't terrorize them again. Our mission is clear: eliminate the targets. I plunge into the dark woods with the pack. This is the boar's domain. In this thick brush, they possess a lethal speed advantage. The clever ones try to vanish in the shadows, but no one escapes their fate forever. Sly, trailing behind, suddenly faces a massive beast. He wasn't ready for a solo showdown. Still just a rookie, Sly freezes before turning tail. Seeing his fear, the boar ignites its predatory rage. It charges after him, unaware that a true warrior is lurking right behind the coward. The trail is tight. Sly shoves past Tank, leaving him exposed to a devastating head-on collision. They call him Tank as a joke. He's smaller than the head of a lead dog. But when battle calls, his soul ignites. He charges giants 3 times his size without hesitation. He refuses to yield. Charging forward, he sinks his teeth into the beast's throat. The boar's weight shoves him back, thrashing wildly. Sly stands behind, howling for reinforcements. Ruckus catches the signal and pulls a sharp U-turn, racing back into the fray. He intercepts the beast's retreat, clamping his jaws onto its thrashing hind leg like a vice. The boar screams in agony. In that split-second opening, Tank finally locks onto its ear. 8 barks over the radio. Ice Tank made the latch but took a hit. Check him now. Ice finishes the third target and checks Tank's fur. 8 asks anxiously, "Is he okay?" "He's fine." The tactical vest absorbed the impact. Just a few battle scars from the branches. "Good. Another latch on your left, deep in the forest. The pack has pinned another target." Ice maneuvers through the shadows, muttering about the chaos. You've got to respect the man's hustle. He's out there solo in the dead of night, hunting monsters through the pitch-black wilderness. By now, I'm back at the truck. 8 watches the remaining boars vanish and keys the radio. "The targets are retreating. Call the pack back before we push too far." Ice whistles them in. The hounds come bounding back. Ice signs off to the viewers, declaring the hunt finally over. Thank you for watching 8, and the villagers team up to haul the massive catch back. The villagers are incredibly grateful, insisting they stay for a victory feast tomorrow morning. But Ice is focused. Food can wait. We need to account for every dog first. We're missing one. Flurry's gone. She went too deep and her tracker signal just vanished. 8 launches the drone, burning through 2 batteries. Nothing. I watch them struggle and make my move. Ice spots me heading out. "Lucky, where do you think you're going?" I don't look back. Flurry must have chased her target through the forest and out the other side, losing her way. I re-enter the woods with purpose, methodically filtering through the web of scents to find hers. Get the drone on Lucky. We can't lose him too. Ice pushes his exhausted body to follow. The drone quickly catches up, filming me as I sweep through the dense tree line. My nose scans the earth. 8's voice crackles through the drone. "Lucky, return." I ignore him. I sweep the perimeter until Flurry's trail hits me like a lightning bolt. I follow it out. 8 watches the feed in disbelief. Ice Lucky is tracking her. He's heading straight up the mountain. Ice is floored. No way. Even for a genius dog, tracking another hound is next level. The drone shadows me over the ridge. I don't stop maintaining a relentless, steady trot. 8's voice turns urgent. We need to move. A local guide grabs the wheel to navigate. 8 monitors the drone as they chase me. He tells Ice to wait for the pickup truck. We're in the open now. The signs are clear. 2 distinct scent trails run side by side. One belongs to a boar, the other to Flurry. 2 ridges later, she's still nowhere in sight. She really gave it her all. Then I find a chaotic scene, crushed cornstalks scattered everywhere. Flurry managed to pin the beast here, but with no reinforcements, the situation turned dire. The boar eventually broke free. Flurry stayed behind, lost her bearings, and began wandering in hopeless circles. 8's eyes nearly pop as he watches the screen. Man, Lucky's a beast. He's actually found Flurry's trail. Look at this flattened cornfield. This is where the showdown happened. I've already trekked over 5 kilometers from the truck. Suddenly, her scent slams into me, heavy and undeniable. She's close. She must have picked up my scent, too. She recognizes me. She's charging straight ahead, guided by my scent. A flash of white cuts through the shadows. The moment she spots me, she's a blur of pure joy, sprinting my way. 8 frantically radios Ice. It's really her. Mission accomplished. Flurry dives into full puppy mode, nuzzling me and licking my fur. She probably thought I was the lost one. Honestly, what can I say? She just got a bit too caught up in the chase. She never meant to disappear. I bark loudly at the drone. Come on, 8. Take the hint. I'm definitely not hiking back the long way. He finally gets it and guides the drone toward the road. He's testing us to see if we'll follow his lead. The drone glides and I'm right behind it. With me by her side, Flurry isn't letting me out of her sight. We trek over the hills for another kilometer until the trucks appear. Ice rushes over, grabbing my head in relief. Lucky you, absolute legend. You knew she was gone and brought her back. Then he shoots Flurry, a look of pure frustration. You total bonehead. If you lose the boar, just come home. Don't go chasing shadows into the dead of night. Flurry's oblivious, just wagging her tail like a maniac. But I know how much losing a dog weighs on these guys. Some fall to the boars, that's just the job. But a dog vanishing into the wild, that guilt never truly leaves you. You search until your voice is gone, hearing only silence. All that's left is the desperate hope they'll find their way. By sunrise, everything is finally settled. Our team follows the locals back into the heart of their village. News travels fast. The heroes who took down the boars have arrived, and everyone's pouring out to catch a glimpse. They find a courtyard for the pack and some kind souls offer food. 8 politely declines, not wanting to be a burden. He gives them water, but I'm the VIP. I get invited straight inside with the humans. The locals can't stop talking about me while they eat. I saw the whole show last night. That dog is a beast. Flushing boars, securing the catch, and finding his lost partner alone. That's what a real professional looks like. A pro hunter is just on another level. Ice tries to act humble about it, but he's failing miserably. I parade around with my bowl until the host starts laughing. He gestures grandly and tosses me 2 juicy lamb ribs. After a rowdy feast, the team hits the kennel and just collapses from total exhaustion. Forget showering, everyone's out cold instantly, but their rest is cut short when a car rumbles up to the gate. A rival crew from the next town over arrives and their leader marches straight inside. Where's the star? Lucky I'm here for him, sigh. I guess I'll go say hi. Such is the life of a celebrity. Lately, teams have been lining up just to meet me. Most of them are just fishing for stud rights. Ice shuts them all down immediately. He knows I have high standards. Captain Qian just laughs off the rejection. He just grins and pivots. Why don't you bring your pack and hunt with us sometime? The more the merrier. Once he's gone, I check on Lala. She's looking better and greets me with a wag. I bring her some milk and a snack. Her appetite is improving, but she's still way too skinny. Ice says it's normal to lose weight after an injury. Suddenly, Dong bursts into the room, looking worried. Ice, get over here. Something's seriously wrong under Howler and Rumble's crate. Expecting the worst, Ice bolts toward the kennel with me, right behind him. We find a dark, troubling stain. Ice checks their gums immediately. Rumble looks okay, but Howler's are pale. It's him. He was totally fine yesterday. Ice frantically video calls Old Lee. "Look at this. Old Lee, tell me what you see. Is it tick fever?" He points the camera at the dark stain, then at Howler's pale gums. Old Lee, a veteran who's seen it all, delivers the grim verdict. This isn't tick fever at all. This is a blood parasite much worse. Howler is severely anemic. Check his temperature right now. A fever would confirm the nightmare. Ice grabs the thermometer. And there it is. It's definitely the parasite. Is it contagious? Ice asks. Not directly, but ticks and mites can spread it from one dog to another. If the same bugs bite the rest of the pack, they're doomed. Don't try treating him there. You don't have the gear for this. Get him to me immediately. Ice hangs up and yells for 8. 8 scans the situation. Send Rumble too, just to be safe. He begins arranging the crates for transport. Ice inspects every single dog in the kennel. Fortunately, no one else is showing symptoms for now. The moment I hear insects spread the disease, I vanish from Howler's side. It's strictly business, buddy. I can't afford to get sick. When an animal suffers, they can't explain the pain, making it far deadlier. 8 secures a specialized animal transport service, but the earliest they can move is tomorrow morning. Ice calls Old Lee in a panic. Even express shipping will take 3 grueling days to arrive. Give Howler the injection now and treat every other dog for parasites. He'll survive the journey. Is Lucky nearby? He looks off. Send me a video of him right this second. Give it a rest. Lucky is perfectly fine. I see right through your little schemes, Old Lee. They follow Old Lee's orders, injecting Howler before giving every dog a full external parasite treatment. By the time the work is finished, it's past midnight, and the crew is completely exhausted and starving. They huddle over instant noodles. Feeling bad for them, I push some of my own food over. Dong laughs at the gesture. Who couldn't love this dog? He's actually sharing his dinner with us. 8 nods in respect. Lucky isn't just a dog. You have to treat him like one of the boys. At dawn, 8 feeds the duo seals the transport crates and sends them off on their way. 8 returns with a surprise, my brand new custom-made high-strength tactical armor vest. It's puncture-resistant camo built to my exact measurements. Lucky, let's see how this legendary gear fits. They strap me in and I check the mirror. Honestly, I look sharp like a true battlefield professional. Boars couldn't touch me before. Now with this armor, I'm practically an invincible fortress. Dinner time. The pens fly open and a mob of hungry dogs swarms Ice as the meat hits. Some dogs snatch their prize and bolt terrified of losing their meal to the pack. Even heavy hitters like Ruckus and Hothead retreat to their crates to eat in total peace. No one dares disturb them, but as the second bag drops, a full-scale brawl ignites in the yard. Fuzz, Sly, and Goldie lock onto the same piece, a savage 3-way tug-of-war for dominance. It's pure chaos as the fast eaters finish their portions and circle back for a second helping. Ruckus finishes his piece early and begins a slow, predatory prowl through the crowded yard. He corners Sly with a terrifying snarl. Sly crumbles instantly, surrendering his food in total misery. I don't tolerate rank-pulling bullies. This guy thinks he owns the kennel. He's dead wrong. I leap from my perch and confront Ruckus, matching his savage snarl with my own blazing aura. He squares up to me, dropping the meat. It's time to show everyone who the real king is. I lunge, jaws snapping toward his neck. The skin is loose, but I've secured a dominant grip. Ruckus thrashes wildly, snapping back in a rage, but my position keeps his fangs at bay. He's aiming for my front leg, so I release him strictly on my own tactical terms. Ruckus charges blindly, but I sweep his legs and flip him. He hits the dirt belly up. I pin his throat instantly. Ice screams for me to stop, fearing I might actually finish him. I back off immediately. Ruckus flees with his tail tucked. Ice stands there completely stunned by my power. Ruckus was bullying and Lucky stepped in. He's clearly making a move for the top spot. Every pack needs a leader to hunt, protect, and manage the internal hierarchy of the group. In the wild, no one eats until the alpha gives the signal, no matter how hungry they are. But that crown is usually bought with blood, a cost this hunting team simply cannot afford. Humans usually prevent alphas from rising here, but I am built differently from the rest. Ice realizes I have the intellect and the raw strength to lead this pack the right way. The gap between us is so massive I can enforce order without anyone ever having to die. Lucky come, I trot over, but first I return the stolen meat to the miserable Sly. If you want to be the top dog, fine. Just keep the peace. I dip my head. I snag a couple of eggs from the yard and return to find Ruckus moping in his crate like a kicked pup. Setting the eggs before him, I watch as he completely forgets the harsh lesson he just endured. He gulps them down instantly, fearing I'll change my mind. Most dogs would hold a grudge, but not him. Ade's tactical planning is cut short by a sudden call. Yes, sir, I am home. No, I am not sure. The thought of cameras makes me twitch. Understood, sir. We will be ready for inspection. We won't fail you, Dong. Ice, get over here. The county news crew is heading our way to feature our elite hunting unit. We do not know which squad they will spotlight, so look sharp. We are about to be interviewed by the press. We are going on national television. I need a fresh outfit fast. I cannot look like a bum on screen. Chill, Ice. Nothing is set in stone, but we act like it is a done deal. The crew spends hours strategizing their debut. That evening, the confirmation drops. The crew arrives tomorrow and they want to film a live hunt at midnight. It is really happening. I never dreamed I would be a TV star. Relax, man. That is what editing is for. They will trim any mistakes. The real pressure is whether we can execute a perfect hunt under the spotlight. We have got this. Before it was a gamble, but with lucky skill, victory is guaranteed. Right, partner? I decide to play a little prank and shake my head no. What? Why the doubt all of a sudden? Don't you dare fail me now! I flash a canine grin and bark. Oh, I see. You are just messing with me. Ice lunges at me for some playful wrestling. 8 watches our antics and laughs, finally letting the stress melt away. Sleep is a struggle with nerves on fire. The following afternoon, the long-awaited message finally buzzes through. The press is here. 4 vehicles roll into the valley as the trio stands ready to greet the cameras. Captain 8, meet Reporter Chen from the Agricultural News Network. Reporter Chen, I am 8, lead captain of the Chang'an strike team. Honored to meet you. Welcome to our base. 8 forces a jagged smile so anxious he completely blanks on Ice. Chen has to introduce himself. Just call me Ice. And here is Dong, our wheelman. Pleasure to meet you. Ice, give us a breakdown of your tactical operations. We respond to village distress calls. Wherever the wild boars are ravaging crops, that is where we strike next. Upon arrival, we deploy thermal drones to scout the targets. Once locked, we move in and unleash the hounds. After the dogs pin the beast, we finish the job. Captain, tell us about your 4-legged warriors. Ice, give the tour. As he leads Chen into the yard, the reporter's eyes instantly lock onto me. My massive frame is impossible to ignore. Is that giant not a hunter? We will save that legend for last. The reveal piqued the reporter's interest. This dog was clearly built different. These hounds look absolutely formidable. What is their pedigree? Dash is a pit greyhound hybrid. Ironball is a Leica Malinois cross. They are all battle-hardened mixed breeds. Are not purebreds superior? Not in this game. We prefer hybrids. Ice, it is time to introduce our secret weapon. Meet Lucky, our undisputed vanguard. He is a giant, sure, but his physical power is only the beginning. Lucky's true edge is his intellect. His tactical mind is terrifying. He can lead the pack or solo the beast. He stalks prey with ghostly silence. Any trick a domestic dog knows, he has already mastered. Whatever a hunting dog can do, he does better. Go on, Lucky, take a bow. I do not hesitate. I perform a perfect bow and cycle through every command ending with a handstand. Impressive, but parlor tricks are not everything. Tonight is the ultimate proving ground. Let us move out. As the truck arrives, the dogs erupt in a frenzied howl. Ruckus lets out a bizarre war cry, and I join in. 19 elite hounds are loaded into the bay. The full squad is out with the press in tow. No live stream tonight. We position ourselves, and 8 launches the drone. The drone screams into the sky, leaving the camera crew stunned. Are those the targets up ahead? Looks like a dozen targets. Ice target lock confirmed at 300 meters. The terrain is perfect for a massacre. With these open hills, I do not need to scout. Ice finds the angle, and Dong drops the tailgate for deployment. In a flash, the pack surges forward, but I have already vanished into the darkness ahead of them. This terrain belongs to me. Even in my custom battle armor, I am moving like a streak of lightning. The pack hits the dirt and falls in line behind me and Ice. Ruckus has finally silenced his ridiculous howling. He is in pure killer mode tonight. The drone captures the carnage, the pack forming a lethal spearhead with me leading the charge. Lucky is truly the ultimate fighter. Even in heavy tactical armor, his explosive speed is legendary. Dash, Ironball, and Gale are lightning fast, but without a target they haven't reached full gear yet. I'm already hitting peak velocity leading the charge. In 2 minutes we'll be right on top of them. Within 50 meters the boars sense us and huddle. This sounder won't just panic and scatter like amateurs. They're forming a solid defensive wall. Even as I close the gap, they refuse to back down. No one dares to break rank against our charging pack. With this armor, my confidence is absolute. I've got a tactical plan in mind, so I'm not dropping my speed for a second. I strike a boar on the edge and snap, releasing instantly to lure the others into a reckless rescue. Just as predicted, a boar explodes toward me. I'm already pivoting, pulling him away from the safety of the pack. He breaks formation to hunt me down, but he's only chased me 10 meters before my team arrives. Realizing he's surrounded, the boar tries to flee. I wheel around and sink my teeth into his hind leg. Locked on Lucky's bait worked perfectly, and now I've got this target pinned right where we want him. The boar's scream echoes through the woods calling for help, but the rest of the pack is already here. Seeing my opening, the crew piles on. In seconds, Gale is the first to lock onto an ear. Pear arrives and clamps the other side as the rest surge in. The sounder realizes rescue is now impossible. Their morale shatters, and they bolt. Dash, Chief, and Blizzard lead the pursuit of the fleeing targets. Ice, it's over. Get in and finish this. That's one boar down in under 3 minutes. These dogs are incredible. I need a front row seat. Ice, pull them off. We're hunting for more tonight. We're closing in when a boar suddenly counters Dash, breaking away from the group in a desperate move. Chief and Dash double-team him instantly. Flurry and the others keep the main sounder on the run. Wearing fresh gear and avoiding a bloody mess, Ice steps up with a spear instead of a blade. One powerful thrust pierces the boar, while the rest of the team holds the first target down tight. I've already moved on to the next hunt. Within 100 meters, I spot the target Dash has pinned. At 200 pounds, there's no way I'm letting him go. I blast through the gap like a bullet. Recalling Hothead's signature flying ear latch, I decide it's time to show off my own version. I surge forward and lock on using the boar's own mass to stop my 100-pound frame at full speed. The impact nearly flips him over. My teeth punch through with pure, overwhelming force. As the boar struggles, Dash hesitates, but Chief dives in from behind to secure the final hind leg. Another one down. Lucky secures the latch again, but this stubborn boar isn't ready to quit just yet. His tusks clank against my armor vest. I feel the thud, but nothing more. He's spinning to break free. I match his rotation perfectly, while Chief keeps wrenching at his leg from the rear. The backup arrives, and I release heading toward the next roar. Blizzard is already calling out ahead. She's got another one pinned. As it goes down, the camera crew captures every epic second on film. Our efficiency is unmatched, and Lucky is the soul of this hunt. That tight formation was no match. That defense is usually impenetrable, but Lucky shattered it in a single move for both successful takedowns. Lucky led and held both times. He's the undisputed number one, a true hybrid of power and skill. I reach the third target, a smaller one. Blizzard has it handled, so I push past to keep chasing. Further into the wild, the sounder has fractured. Small groups are now scattering in every possible direction. I take a deep breath, reading the scents and tracks to map out their desperate escape routes. It doesn't take long to lock on. 3 boars are moving together and I'm hot on their trail. Usually 2 takedowns would be a victory, but tonight we have an audience to impress. I have to deliver. Behind me, the boar that Blizzard and Flurry held has already been finished off. Ice thinks the hunt is over, but as he calls the pack back, he realizes I'm missing. Where's Lucky? He's gone rogue for one more. He's 2 kilometers deep and I'm going to find him. 3 takedowns and he's still hungry. With this much stamina, a few kilometers is just a warm-up. No roads, no problem. We're going on foot. Ice gathers the pack and trails right behind me. I sprint across the dark ridgeline until I spot them 3 wild boars frozen on the hillside. I circle the slope's base, moving like a ghost to cut off their only escape route. I loop wide and slip behind them unseen. Ice is coming, so I stay hidden in the shadows. I hunker down in the grass. The boars are restless and confused, sensing a predator in the dark. 20 minutes later, Dash and Gale catch the scent and launch a high-speed full-scale charge. The other dogs follow their lead, immediately fueled by a sudden surge of pure adrenaline. Ice checks the radio. 8 notices Lucky, the main character, is already miles ahead of the entire pack. 8 marvels at the main character's genius. Lucky reached the boars first and was simply waiting. The pack flushes the boars straight toward me. I decide to meet them head-on in a clash. 8 shouts as Lucky faces the beasts. He's not flinching. He's going straight for the kill. 3 massive boars charge, but I dive in, locking my jaws onto the leader's ear in one bite. The boar thrashes, but my specialized armor vest absorbs every punishing blow it throws at me. On this steep slope, the beast starts to lose its footing against my relentless bone-crushing grip. We tumble down together. I use gravity to pin him, forcing the beast into an uphill battle. The other 2 boars hesitate before abandoning their comrade to flee up the dark ridge. Moments later, Dash arrives to bite the rear, and the rest of the pack piles on to finish. I calculate the distance, 2 or 3 minutes max. I release my grip and take off. I track the scent and navigate the terrain, choosing a strategic path around the treacherous ridge. A longer path, but it preserves my vital energy. I hit full speed, but the remaining boars are panicked. I decide to call off the chase. I could catch them, but it would push Ice past his physical limits. There will always be more boars. Tonight's haul is already remarkable. No need to overdo the hunt. 8 watches. The feed worried the main character has pushed too far into the darkness. The drone captures me stopping. 8 is awestruck by Lucky's tactical brilliance. He knew when to quit. I stroll back to the pack. They're still hovering over the massive boar we just successfully conquered. Ice hasn't arrived, but Fuzz is ecstatic, nipping at the edges of the high-energy excitement. Ice radios in to confirm the kill. The rest have escaped into the night. Ice arrives with his spear finishing the job. He proudly signals for me to approach. "Good boy, Lucky." He praises the pack, patting each dog as they release their iron grip. Reporter Chen and the crew catch up, looking absolutely wrecked by the brutal, uneven terrain. Chen is breathless. Lucky is incredible. I totally underestimated what this elite dog could actually do. Lucky didn't just hunt. He chose the biggest target and ignored the smaller prey. Absolute alpha. The hunt is over. Ice checks the pack for any injuries from the night's intense skirmish. Not a single scratch. We avoided the long-tusked monsters tonight, keeping the entire team safe. The team loads the gear and the dogs as the first light of morning finally hits. By the time they head home, the sky is glowing with the beautiful colors of a new dawn. Reporter Chen thanks 8 for the footage. The segment airs in just 3 days. Stay tuned. 8 tells them to get some rest, offering to buy the whole crew a celebratory dinner. The crew politely declines. They're so drained they just want to sleep for a week. The exhausted camera assistants pack up their heavy gear and vanish into the quiet morning mist. Once they're gone, Ice explodes with excitement. "We're going to be famous. We're finally on TV." He calls Lee, who sounds like a zombie. "Are you insane? Do you know what time it is?" Ice rants about the reporters and the epic night they just survived out in the mountains. Lee remains skeptical. "Is this really Ice? You sound like you've completely lost your mind, man." "That's total garbage. Just watch the broadcast if you don't believe me." Ice snaps, hanging up. Lee stares at his phone, completely stunned. He tries calling back, but it's busy. Beside him, 8 is buzzing with hype, though his hands are shaking with nerves. Ice's sudden outburst finally breaks the heavy tension, and 8 heads to bed with a confident, satisfied smirk. While they're deep in slumber, a mysterious car pulls into the kennel. Visitors at this hour. Something is definitely wrong. 8, I need your strength," an older man shouts as he climbs out. 8 is wide awake and alert in an instant. "Chief, what's happened?" 8 asks urgently. It's the village chief from his own hometown, looking absolutely desperate. "A local child has vanished," the chief gasps. "You have that high-tech thermal drone, right? We need its heat-seeking eyes." "Can you scan the village woods? I'll get the gear." 8 doesn't hesitate for a second and rushes inside. "Tracking is my specialty." Before 8 even opens the truck, I've already leaped inside and claimed the front passenger seat. 8 shouts after me, "Lucky, get down. We're not heading up the mountain for a stroll today." He tells me to leave, but then he pauses. If Lucky can track beasts, a lost child should be no different. 8 grabs a GPS collar and snaps it on. "Fine, partner. You're coming along for this rescue mission." 8 tails the chief's car, flooring the gas. They're racing against time as they speed toward the quiet village. Arriving at the scene, 8 says, "Let's check the family home first." Inside, the grandmother sits, her eyes red from weeping. The rest of the village is already scouring the dark mountains. Half the town has turned out for the search. The old woman collapses toward them. "Little 8, you've come to help. Thank the heavens. Please find our boy." "We're family, Grandma. Just give me something he wore recently." She doesn't stop to ask questions. She just moves. She hands over a shirt. 8 holds it out to me. "Lucky memorized this scent." I nod, locking it into memory. "We need higher ground for a signal." Minutes later, our truck is roaring toward the nearest hilltop peak. 2 men and 1 determined dog reach the summit. 8 launches the drone into the cold midnight sky. The thermal screen flickers to life, showing orange heat signatures. The villagers are scattered like stars across the mountain. I stand at the peak, inhaling the mountain air. No scent yet. I carefully analyze the terrain and the wind. I bolt down the slope alone, crossing the road and scaling the opposite ridge. 8, your dog!" The chief yells, "He's run off." 8 just smiles. "He's working. Trust his instincts. He knows what he's doing." Can he really track humans? 8 admits he's not sure, but it's our best shot. I begin a wide, sweeping circle. The wind is howling tonight. I have to stay downwind or I'll never catch a trace of the missing child. I complete 1 full loop and expand my range. My nose is like a radar dish, scanning every single kilometer. If the boy is out here, I will find him. Suddenly, 2 kilometers northwest, the scent hits me like lightning. I let out 2 sharp barks, the signal for 8. My GPS collar alerts his handheld unit with a loud ping. The notification flashes on 8's screen. He's barking. Lucky found something. His heart begins to race with hope. Something is definitely there. He maneuvers the drone toward my position as I trot forward, leading the way. "Did he find the kid?" the chief asks. "Not confirmed, but let's go." The wind rocks the drone, draining its battery. The power is fading fast in the storm, but 8 pushes the drone harder. The child's life comes first. I see the drone's flashing lights above. Now I'm certain. I sprint toward a dark, tangled thicket in the valley. I dive into the brush, following a narrow trail carved out by wild boars over many years. The child is close. The drone detects a faint heat signature below, but 8 can't tell if it's a person. He drops the drone's altitude, diving through the trees with expert precision to get a much closer look. He flicks on the high beams. Then 8's voice breaks with excitement. "I found him! It's really the child! We found him!" The chief cries in relief, seeing the small, motionless figure on the drone's live feed. He calls for backup instantly. Luckily, there's a small dirt path accessible to vehicles just below the thicket. Both men scramble down the hill. Word spreads like wildfire, and the villagers rush toward the location from everywhere. I reach the boy first. He's lying still, breathing soft and steady. He's just exhausted and fast asleep. But then I see the danger. A cruel steel wire is coiled tightly around his small, trembling leg. It's a vicious spring snare. Once it snaps shut, it's nearly impossible for a child to escape its grip. The poor boy lacked the strength to break free. His leg is already bruised and raw, where the metal bit deep. Sobbing until his strength failed, the boy drifted into a deep sleep. Mercifully, no predators were prowling the woods tonight. It could have been a tragedy. I kept a silent vigil by his side, waiting until 8 and the chief finally arrived. They found us huddled together. As the chief called out, the boy jolted awake, instantly dissolving into fresh tears of relief. 8 snapped the snare open and ruffled my fur. "Lucky, you're incredible. You're practically a professional canine at this point." 8 paused, a thought crossing his mind. Was hunting wild boars actually beneath a dog with my elite tracking talents? Within 10 minutes, the forest was crawling with people. A woman snatched the child up, alternating between sobbing and scolding him. "Why didn't you listen, you foolish child?" The chief knew her anger was just a mask for her terrifying fear. "Save the lecture. He's badly bruised." 8 intervened. The mother offered a frantic thanks before rushing her son to the hospital. The villagers swarmed around me, their voices filled with awe. The dog actually did it. He found the boy. One dog did more than 50 men combined. With tracking skills like that, he's basically a 4-legged legend in the making. I stood tall, basking in the glory. After the chief thanked us, 8 drove us home under a canopy of stars. The crew slept until noon. Once they finally dragged themselves out of bed, they began plotting the night's big hunt. Engagement was skyrocketing lately. To keep the momentum going, they had to go live for the fans tonight. No excuses allowed. By evening, the truck was loaded with gear and dogs heading straight into the heart of the wilderness. 8 handled the drone setup, syncing the live feed. Ice leaned toward the camera, greeting the thousands of watching viewers. "Good evening, everyone. We're back on crop protection duty tonight." With a hum of rotors, the drone ascended into the dark. 8 went silent, eyes glued to the monitors for boars. Ice kept the chat lively, answering questions as they poured in. The search proved grueling. We cycled through 3 full batteries, moving from one vantage point to the next with no luck. Finally, a massive shadow lurked in the valley thicket. I leaned over the edge, spotting the beast below. The thermal signature burned blindingly bright on the screen. "Ice, wake up. We've got a monster on the radar." Ice scrambled into action as Dong joined us. "Look at the size of that thing," he muttered, eyes wide with intensity. 8 estimated it at 300 pounds minimum. Ice was firm. The brush was too dense to safely release the pack. "The dogs can't dodge in there," Ice warned. "Even Lucky would be vulnerable in that tangled mess of thorns and brambles." Ice was worried about my safety, but I felt a surge of total confidence. It was time for a little doggy intuition. I scratched at the truck door, demanding to be let out. "Just watch me," I thought as Ice chased after me. I shook out my coat and sprinted toward the boar's position. Ice shouted back to the truck, "Hey, Lucky just went in." They were caught in a dilemma. The terrain was a nightmare for the pack, making a full release incredibly risky. Releasing the others meant certain injury, but leaving me without backup was worse. Ultimately, 8 chose to trust my instincts. "Have faith in Lucky," 8 said. "He's too smart to rush in blindly." Ice, however, wasn't so easily convinced. Gripping their spears, Ice and Dong pushed into the thicket. Every step was a struggle against the dense, thorny undergrowth. I approached the beast directly. This boar was arrogant. He heard me coming but refused to retreat an inch. He simply lifted his massive head, staring through the brambles to see what dared to challenge his kingdom. Stopping 20 meters away in a small clearing, I opened my mouth and let out a deafening, rhythmic bark. Lucky's brilliant 8 relayed the update. Ice watched the live stream feed, amazed that I was keeping a safe distance. I had already mapped my escape routes. At this range, I was a ghost completely untouchable by the massive beast. The giant boar didn't even acknowledge me at first, so I stood my ground and kept barking louder and more persistent. Suddenly, 8 realized what I was up to. This wasn't just barking, it was a calculated psychological strike. I was using an ancient battle tactic, taunting the enemy to provoke a reckless charge. For 20 minutes, I never stopped. The livestream viewers watched in absolute awe. "That dog's lungs must be made of steel. Such incredible dedication to the hunt. He's been at it for 20 minutes straight. Honestly, if someone screamed at me that long, I'd lose my mind too." And finally, the boar snapped. Losing his cool, he came crashing through the thorns, charging straight at me like a freight train. As he closed the gap, I saw his true scale. He was a 400-pound titan, the biggest monster I'd ever encountered. You don't take down a beast like this quickly. Today we'd run him until he dropped. I spun around and bolted. I sprinted through my pre-scouted path, weaving through the brush to lure the enraged giant toward the clearing. He chased me for 50 meters before stopping, thinking he'd won. I didn't rush back. I waited, planning my next move carefully. Just 10 meters from the beast. I'm locked in. Across the valley, Ice stands ready with his spear to cover my flank. He's an old-school hunter, always playing it safe. Facing a titan like this, he's already eyeing the best climbing trees. 10 minutes of non-stop barking enough to break anyone's spirit. The monster charges, I fake a retreat, and he's livid now. He loses his cool and chases me out of the brush. He follows me into the open, but the lack of cover makes him hesitate. He grinds to a sudden halt. I dive back in, baiting him toward the flat dirt path used by the local villagers. No obstacles here, no excuses to turn back. 8 watches the drone feed with a confident smirk. The stage is set for Lie's show. After 300 meters, the giant is huffing, forced to a dead stop. Out here, the brush won't save him. I start circling, closing in like a predator. He's forced to pivot to guard his flank. After 2 rotations, the boar snaps and explodes into another charge. I lead him into the soft fields. The terrain drains his stamina instantly. 8 calls out from the truck. Ice fall back. We'll reposition and find Lucky. Slowly, every charge from the beast gets shorter and weaker. His massive size gives him power, but 0 endurance. He's gasping for air while I'm just getting warmed up. The boar realizes he's too slow and tries to flee. No way, not on my watch. I close the gap instantly. He wheels around, sensing the threat. I resume my wide circles, taunting his rear. He tracks me through 2 rotations, then pins his hindquarters against a terrace wall for safety. Standing still won't save him, but he's still got gas in the tank. I make my move, trusting my armor vest. I can handle a tusk hit. I lunge from the side, ready to dodge. 8 yells, "Lucky, don't latch on yet." It was just a feint, a total bluff. I zip past his snout and keep the pressure on. The boar thinks he can connect and chases me, but gives up quickly. Finally, the beast accepts the cold truth. He has no counter for me. He tries to run, but every step just bleeds more of his remaining energy. I trail him at an easy pace. Whenever he slows, I dart in to provoke him. 3 hours of psychological warfare. We've covered 10 kilometers. The live stream is blowing up. Release the hounds. Lucky is absolutely unreal. A total god. Ice checks with 8 about dropping the dogs. Not yet. Let's see how far Lucky can push this legend. 4 full hours in. The boar's spirit finally breaks. He collapses to the dirt, his sides heaving in defeat. I'm breathing hard too, but my endurance is elite. I walk right up and nip at his heels. He doesn't even fight back, just wails at the sky. 8 roars in triumph. Lucky actually did it. Target neutralized. Ice release the dogs now. 8 and Dong swing the truck doors wide. The second the tailgate drops, Ruckus lets out a deafening war cry. Hothead, the kennel's infamous champion, pauses for a quick mark before bolting toward the action like a missile. Dash wins the race leaping over ledges but stops dead when he sees the size of this monster. Tassel arrives next and freezes 2 barking from a distance. The livestream viewers notice the hesitation immediately. This pig is a titan. The dogs are too intimidated to strike. But look at him, he's completely spent. Lucky literally ran the life out of him. The chat is flooded with "Lucky is goated" comments. It's well deserved. A solo dog neutralizing a 400-pound monster is unheard of. This is peak hunting mastery. A catch this big brings legendary bragging rights. Without me taking him down safely would be impossible. You'd normally sacrifice half the pack to catch a beast like this, but with me, we take him down clean. 8 goes full hype, man. Lucky just made history. 0 injuries on a 400-pound Tusker shoutout for the gifts. Thanks for the support. Don't worry. Lie gets a 5-star nutritional meal tonight. He eats better than me. By now, the rest of the pack has finally caught up to the scene. Yet even the veteran dogs are hesitating. Tony and the others hold back, wary of the giant's power. At this scale, even an alpha thinks twice. Then Hothead steps forward, studying the angles for a weakness. I move to the front. The boar sees the pack closing in and thrashes weakly, unable to rise. I read the moment perfectly and latch onto his snout, the most strategic kill zone. Safe from the tusks, I slam my 100-pound frame down to pin his head, ending the struggle for good. I latch on first, and Hothead follows, pinning one ear. Shaker clamps the other tight. True to his name, Shaker violently wrenches the head. That's the signal the whole pack swarms. A dozen dogs pin the beast. He only has energy left to scream. Ice arrives, 0 hesitation. He strikes the vein. This monster is huge. 8 says, 400 pounds, no question. Ice films the triumph. Look at Lucky, 0 injuries after taking down a 400-pound giant Tusker. Many teams bag big boars, but with 0 injuries. That's unheard of. No one else could. The bleeding finally stops. This long, brutal struggle is finally at its end. I release my grip, panting hard. Chasing and baiting for hours, I ran way more than the boar. 10 kilometers easily. Ice sees my state and grabs milk. Good dog. You were absolutely incredible. Not a scratch. After my milk, Dong admires the kill. Ice hands him the phone and poses. Both hands grip the boar's ears like massive bone-chilling trophy handles. How do we haul this back? 8 asks. 3 men dragging 400 pounds through the dark. It's grueling work. All right, everyone. A boar this size makes the whole night worth it. See you next time. Stream off. The 8 sprints over, desperate for his own victory photos. They strain to drag the carcass to the truck. The dogs are loaded. Everyone drives home. Back at the kennel, Ice feeds us while Dong and 8 get to work with heavy pliers. 15-centimeter tusks emerge like daggers. Everyone's fed, but the men are too hyped to sleep. They just stand there admiring the kill. I jump onto the carcass, posing tall for the fans. All for the fans. With a final massive effort, they haul the body back to the truck. Dong goes to weigh it. Ice stays behind, spamming every group chat with victory photos. That stream was a fluke. Lucky did the work. You just finished it. Anyone could do that. Give me Lucky and I'd drop a 400-pounder too. The haters were out in force. Ice laughs at the salt. 8 and Dong return with the news, 436 pounds. Lucky you legend. Ice grabs my face, beaming with pride. The celebration continues for a while. Finally, exhaustion wins. Everyone passes out. I ran hard last night. I'm sleeping like a rock. I wake up late in the afternoon. No hunt tonight. Ice tells me to rest. Something feels off. My left paw stings with every step. I check it. The pad is fine, but something's lodged inside. A thorn. I hop on 3 legs toward the fence. Ice is busy hosing down the enclosure. I bark to get his attention. Ice turns and sees me limping. What happened? Lucky you're limping. Ice drops the hose immediately. He examines my paw with focused care. Got a thorn in there. He grabs tweezers, pulls it out, and disinfects the wound. Thorns are just part of the job. The brush is brutal. Ice is always cut up. Once a fall kept him down for 2 months. This won't work, Ice mutters. 10 kilometers and a thorn. Lucky you need some shoes. I push my paws into Ice's boots. He gets it instantly. You want your own shoes? Think you can handle them? I nod. Ice laughs. You really are special figuring that out yourself. Ice calls. 8. We need custom stitching for Lucky. This legend needs tactical gear for his paws. 8 agrees immediately. Let's go now. By evening, my new custom hunting shoes are finally ready. 8 grabs dinner. Ice is buzzing with excitement. I got a message. Our segment airs tomorrow. That was fast. After dinner, Ice is glued to his phone, checking every single notification. No other team has made the actual news. He blasts the announcement across every fan group. Don't miss it. 8 and I are finally on TV. The hype is spreading through every chat. Our dogs were beasts that night. Especially Lucky. He took down 4 massive boars solo. He chased the last one for 2 kilometers. The fan group explodes with pure, unadulterated hype. Chen goes full caps lock. Is this real? Our boys are on TV. Best news I've ever heard. Ice 8 and Lucky. You guys are absolutely, undeniably legendary. The very next day, this die-hard fan hits the local corner store and snags the kennel's address in a heartbeat. Just past 10 in the morning, while the trio is still half asleep, a random car suddenly pulls up and stops. The mixed breeds trot over to investigate the newcomer. Misty sits tight before rolling down her window. Ice 8. I'm the early bird today. Misty spots me and starts waving wildly. It's Lucky. I freeze in my tracks. Another visitor. 8 hears the noise and steps out. Misty recognizes him instantly. 8. I'm a huge fan. I came just to see you. 8 blinks in shock. A real fan. How did you even track us down? Sorry for the ambush. I messaged you, but since you didn't reply, I did some detective work myself. You're welcome. Don't sweat it. Come on out. They don't bite. Okay, here goes. 8 is totally speechless seeing a fan. Luckily, Ice steps out right on cue. Misty beams at him. Hey there, Ice. Turns out we're neighbors. I recognized that store from your video and asked around. Sorry for barging in like this. She's already got their personalities pinned down. Ice just waves it off. Intrusion. Everyone is family here. Ice. Lucky doesn't bite right, chill. With this crew, even if I bit someone, they'd probably just watch. Before he can finish, Misty sprints straight for me. Lucky I'm here. She cups my face and pets me joyfully. I play along like a total professional. She inspects me closely while petting. Man, she really loves dogs. Lucky if I knew you lived this close, I'd have visited sooner. I brought a literal mountain of snacks. Misty hauls a massive box of premium treats from her car. Ice, these are all for Lucky, right? Ice isn't about to kill the vibe. Go for it. If he doesn't like them, he won't touch them. Ice 8. You do your thing. I'm perfectly happy just chilling with Lucky. We're free, so stay as long as you want. Eventually, Misty says her goodbyes and promises to return. Once she leaves, they check their phones as the news drops. A female anchor appears on screen, our next top story. With ecosystems bouncing back, wildlife numbers are exploding. It's a win for nature, but a headache for locals. Here's the report. The coverage is short, under a minute. 8 and Ice get 10 seconds of fame, but that's plenty for them. Both of them are absolutely buzzing. I make a cameo too, a thermal blur of a dog running, but their full 10-minute edit goes live immediately. This cut has it all: the pre-hunt hype, the intense takedown sequence, and a full spotlight on yours truly. Ice watches it all and immediately blasts it to every group for likes. Lucky's a star. We took down 4 boars and I personally pinned 3 of them. Voice notes are blowing up. I peek at the screen to scan the comments. Half the hype is about me. 8 raises a glass. Let's toast to this. The vibes are electric and the drinks keep flowing. All 3 guys and 1 dog end up totally wasted. I'm the first to go wobbling in my chair. I hop down, trying to act cool, but the moment I move, my legs turn to jelly. I'm a mess. The trio loses it laughing. The night dissolves into pure chaos. All 3 of them are completely blacked out. When morning hits, they look like zombies. 8 and Ice groan while Dong drops the hammer. No more alcohol. This is a waste of time. Just then, the tailor calls. The shoes are ready and 8 grabs them. Lucky time for a fitting. He slides them on one by one. Fully geared, 8 tells me to run. I blast off the line, tearing down the dirt road and leaving a massive dust cloud in my wake. 8 checks the grip. Perfect fit. Do they work? Lucky I nod. With these thorns, don't stand a chance. No more torn paws. After yesterday's party, it's back to the grind. A call comes in from a villager. A gang of wild boars is terrorizing the village. They raid crops by day and return harder at night. The locals tried using their own dogs to drive the beasts away. 1 dog got mangled. This gang is fearless. They've been clashing with the villagers for days on end. The village head had to pull strings before 8's number was called. Ice is fired up. Fearless, huh? Let's see if they're bolder than me. He's ready to solo them. 8 smirks. Better sharpen those blades first. Ice looks at me. Lucky how's the paw ready to hunt, I nod. A little thorn was nothing. At twilight, the dogs suit up in tactical vests and load up. Only the elite veterans made the cut tonight. Luck is on our side. The target is close. After a quick drive, 8 gathers intel from the locals. These pests are ravaging the village's prime crops. A local guide leads our convoy into the fray. We track through narrow paths. Suddenly, the drone spots them, a massive sounder gorging themselves in the open. Scanning the thermal feed, a cold smirk spreads across Ice and 8's faces. The hunt is on. They're mid-sized, under 200 pounds, and completely exposed. It's an easy haul, but their numbers are staggering. Over 30 targets detected. As the live stream goes active, thousands of viewers ignite the chat instantly. Evening hunters, time for some crop protection. Did you see us on the news? Smash that like button. Share the stream and let's grow. 8 cuts. The chatter and signals. Ice. Prepare for release. I nudge Ice, reminding him of my gear. I wait until the last second to don my hunting shoes. Dong is vibrating with excitement. Ice, the field is perfect. Let me take the finishing strike tonight. Can you handle it? 8 scoffs. You've never even killed a chicken. Why the sudden bravado? These beasts are ruining lives. Just watch me one clean strike. But Dong struggles on the rougher ground. Ice fears he might be a liability, yet Dong's hunger for the final kill has reached a boiling point. I lace up and leap from the truck, deciding to observe. These small targets offer zero challenge today. It's child's play. Dong, release the hounds. 8 roars. The tailgate drops and the pack explodes outward. They scramble for the lead. As Ice advances, our vanguard locks onto the pungent scent of the enemy. The alphas sprint ahead, the rest of the pack straining to match their pace. The boars stay grounded. They form a defensive wall, the titans shielding the young. It's the largest legion I've ever encountered. 30 strong and counting. Luckily, there's no monster-class tusker leading this chaotic army tonight. Massive boars only join the sounder during breeding season, the window, when they become true killing machines. Hunt then, and you're begging for a death match. But today, the season of rage hasn't arrived yet. No kings here, just common targets. I'll hold back. The juniors need to earn their stripes tonight. My shadow shouldn't eclipse their growth. I'm the overseer tonight, ready to intervene if the chaos turns deadly. Our vanguards strike first, circling the enemy with thunderous barks that echo through the night. The pack converges, but the enemy's formation is impenetrable. Tassel cleverly probes for a weakness, tightening the noose. The tension snaps. A cornered boar loses its nerve-breaking ranks and launching a desperate blind charge. Tassel evades, but a stray vine trips him. The charging beast slams into him with bone-shattering force. He tumbles, but Goldie seizes the chance, locking her jaws onto the beast. Tank rushes in to help. Suddenly, a second boar counterattacks. Goldie is forced to retreat as the enemy fights to save their kin. The target slips back into the fray. Our numbers are scattered, preventing us from delivering a decisive blow. Tassel resets the trap, taunting the beasts once more, waiting for another fool to break their line. Lightning strikes twice, but Tassel is ready. He dodges the tusks and sinks his teeth into the prey. The full squad descends like a storm. Tawny Chief and Blizzard pin the beast to the cold earth. A rescue squad of boars erupts from the sounders, smashing through our ranks like a living battering ram. It's a riot out there. 8 yells. Ice, move in. The hunt has evolved into an all-out brawl. 12 hounds against 30 beasts. The audience watches in awe as the boars display terrifyingly coordinated teamwork. The enemy's phalanx holds strong. The chat erupts. Where's Lucky? Why is the king just standing there? Through the camera's lens, they spot me. I'm 10 meters back, calculating every move in this chaotic dance. I'm recovering from an injury, but duty calls. Yukon uses raw power to drag a target into isolation. Yukon locks onto the beast's snout, hauling the screaming animal backward with the strength of a titan. Our armored elite trooper Gale and Fuzz form a steel wall. The sounder hesitates, fearing the bite of iron. They watch helplessly as Yukon drags their comrade to his doom. Trooper joins in, securing a lethal grip. With synchronized power, they drag the prey clear of the sounder, creating a kill zone of 3 meters. The pack locks down the kill, but the sounder launches a final rescue. 4 beasts charge our line. I won't let my brothers bleed. I step into the light, releasing a low, bone-chilling growl that halts them. They see my massive frame and their charge falters. Panic sets in. The pack spots a trapped boar and swarms. That sounder won't reclaim their own. End it now. Let's move. Ice and Dong hit the scene. Ice's flashlight cuts the dark. No giants here, just a standard herd. The moment is now. Ice rips off the spear guard, finds his mark, and grips the shaft tight. Dong, watch my 6. Stay sharp. Dong watches Ice bypass the trapped prey and march toward the herd. Ice, what's the play? Tonight I'm taking on this entire pack solo. Years of hunting have forged Ice into a man with iron nerves that most can't imagine. He's lunged into the fray before the dogs even finished their job, yet it's never reckless. It's pure calculation. In moments like this, if I don't draw blood, my soul won't rest. Ice, stay frosty. Just finish the pinned one. Ice reads the field, grips his steel, and approaches me. 8 realizes the plan instantly. What is Ice thinking? Going solo against the sounder. The boar is locked on me, unaware Ice is 2 meters away. Ice drives his spear through the boar's ribcage. The blade finds the heart and punches straight through. The beast shrieks and flees. Ice doesn't blink. He pulls back and strikes a second target instantly. Another lethal blow to the chest. This one doesn't run. It collapses, life fading in the dirt. A clean kill. 8 roars in shock. Ice is a monster. Even I'm stunned by his speed. He struck before the hounds could even pin it. This human is terrifying. The sows lose heart. Seeing 2 fallen in seconds, the sounder breaks. The herd scatters in a blind panic. Some are paralyzed by fear. One boar bolts past and Ice guts it without missing a single beat. The beast stumbles 10 meters before falling. Ice is on fire. Adrenaline surges. His hands are trembling. The rush is overwhelming. This is easily the most savage fight of his entire career. Another beast charges. Ice thrusts his spear home, but this one is remarkably fast. It leaps away, dodging death. But the second it lands, Ice strikes again. Thack. One more legend born. That makes 4. The chat is losing it. Ice is legendary. But we aren't done yet. One bolts past me and I snag its leg. Ice strides over, thrusts his spear, and another falls. Ice turns with a savage grin as Dong cheers. Ice is truly unstoppable. He just waves it off. Easy work, taking down 4 boars with just a spear. Yeah, he's earned that swagger. One's still pinned by the hounds. Come on, Dong. Bleed it. Ice teaches him the lethal angle. Drive the blade in diagonally. Do it right and you'll pierce the heart and lungs at once. One strike any size. Dong doesn't flinch. He drives it deep and twists. Ice nods. Perfect form. They slap the hounds and release them. More boars are fleeing and the lead dogs are already hunting. The slaughter continues. The lead pack is already baying up ahead. Once the hounds are loose, they dive headfirst into the next bloodbath. From above, it's just 2 men in a field of carcasses. Ice hit God tier. 4 kills in 60 seconds. The dogs scatter into the herd. Some are chasing, some are baying, and others have already latched on. But Ice doesn't chase. He stops to breathe it in. You've got to respect the man's skill. Ice's precision is terrifying. Not one boar he speared moved more than 10 meters. A perfect cluster. 8's voice crackles on the radio. Ice 1's pinned ahead. Bleed it out. Copy that. Ice charges. Pure intensity. I'm moving too. I've already dragged down another beast on my own. The fight turns into a total brawl. I hold one. Chief and Fuzz pin another. The pack swarms. Blizzard is already miles ahead. Through the night, it's nothing but glorious chaos. Takedown after takedown. 13 boars in total. Big or small, the count remains. 13. A new record for the duo. The most kills in one night. I soloed 4. I dragged 3. Villagers helped gather the 13 beasts, lining them up like trophies along the dirt road. Dozens gathered to witness the carnage. Phones are flashing. It's too much for them to carry alone. A tractor-driving savior appears from a TV cameo to the pinnacle of glory. His legendary moment is finally here. Ice is on cloud 9, bragging to everyone. While he hums a victory tune, I'm wrestling with the pack in the yard. Our bond is deep now. In fact, the most playful pups actually dare to roughhouse with me. Hammer often ambushes my legs from behind, while Fluffy tries to gnaw on my head. Just a typical day. I reward them with treats whenever I'm happy. Suddenly, Captain Wang calls about a big creator wanting to film a hunt. Wang is busy, but he knows Lucky is the real star of the show. A guaranteed takedown is easy. Can you help him film, he'll pay. Aid and I share a silent look. Your friend is our friend. Forget the money. Just bring him over. We'll guarantee a legendary catch. Business is business. They check the guy out. Wow, a fishing superstar with nearly 10 million loyal followers. This guy is a true titan. That evening, the massive influencer finally makes his grand entrance. The guys rush to meet him. Chang welcome. He's already binged their videos and is a total fan. Incredible vibes. Let's head inside. I'm waiting by the door as the legend Xiang walks in. He spots me and kneels. You must be Lucky, the genius dog. I've got a special gift for you. I give a respectful nod. Nice guy. Ice and 8 insist it's no trouble at all having him over. We love visitors. Captain Wang was just here. But wait, aren't you a fishing specialist? Chang'e. Watching Wang's hunts changed my life. I've completely fallen for these incredible hunting hounds. The plan, it can wait. Food first. After a long dinner, the night is already slipping away. The crew heads to a local hotel. Ice is floored by the sheer scale of the operation. This is top-tier status cameras, assistants, the whole 9 yards. 8 can only sigh in awe. We need a pro editor and cameraman. Our current stuff just doesn't hit the mark. But who would join? The hours are brutal, and the mountain terrain is unforgiving. It's a tough sell for anyone. Morning arrives and the cameras start rolling. Their producer hands over a professional shooting script. We're total rookies at this. You're the boss, Chang. Just tell us where to stand. Time to see how pros work. Chang starts learning the ropes of being a hunt assistant. Loading dogs, hitting the trails, taking down boars, and the final wrap-up. A perfect plan. Ice teach me the way. It's simple, but you'll need iron lungs. How's your stamina, big guy? I'm ready. Ice begins the training how to finish a boar. Precision is everything in this game. A clean strike is key, but the golden rule is never ever hit one of the dogs. One rookie got too hyped, missed the boar, and stabbed a dog instead. He vanished in shame. That's unthinkable. Hurting a dog. Chang swears he'll be beyond careful during the heat of battle. They mark a target in the dirt. Chang drives the spear home with every ounce of his strength. Perfect form. They capture some workout shots too, push-ups and conditioning to set the scene. A whole morning of blood and sweat just for a few seconds of epic footage. Pure dedication. Take a break. Chang 8 sighs. You really can't beat the polish of a professional crew. I just wing it, honestly. Chang decides to get real with them about their channel's future. Your content has massive potential. You're sitting on a goldmine but wasting the visuals. Get pros. We don't have those connections. Tell you what, I'll find you a cameraman and an editor myself. 8 asks if anyone would actually survive these conditions. It's a wild life out here. Hard work requires high pay. Make it worth their while and they'll come running. It's a deal. If this works, I'm forever in your debt. Lucky as a once-in-a-lifetime star. Ice and 8 are absolutely stoked for this. They were drowning in raw footage with no clue how to edit. Now a savior has arrived. Unstoppable luck. After a quick rest, Chang finally goes to bond with the hunting pack. He tries to feed them, but Ice intervenes. A full stomach on a mountain run spells disaster. Lesson learned. As dusk falls, they gear up for the ultimate hunt. Chang helps out, but he and his cameraman get squeezed into the cramped back seat. I flash a sharp, annoyed glare. Jung pats my head. Calm down, no biting. Fine, I'll chill. Professionals are joining the squad. Our channel's going viral soon. Tonight we deliver an absolute takedown. After an hour-long trek, they arrive. 8 hops out and deploys the eye-in-the-sky drone. Chang checks the feed. Deep in the mountains, savage boars are terrorizing local farms and threatening lives. Tonight, the elite protection squad and our lethal pack of hounds move in for the hunt. Time to eliminate these pests. Chang and the crew flank 8 ready for high-stakes action. But the night starts with a frustrating and unexpected setback. The drone sweeps the village but finds 0 targets. They expand the search radius, still absolutely nothing. From 9 p.m. until midnight, they hunt shadows. 8 is stumped. Where did those monsters vanish to? Chang forces a strained smile. This shoot is quickly turning into a total high-stakes nightmare. Anxiety peaks. At 1 a.m., the thermal camera catches movement, glowing heat signatures in the dark valley. Target spotted, Chang yells. 3 massive boars are lurking deep within the treacherous thick forest. Captain Wang warns of the danger, but the risk is worth the reward. Luck is finally ours. Drive them out, 8 commands. It's time. He shakes Ice awake. The real battle begins right now. Everyone huddles around the screen. The thick woods loom right over the narrow trail. The tension is palpable. Lucky's going in solo to flush them out first. Ice securely fastens my tactical hunting boots. Chang chuckles. With an armor vest and boots, I'm a fully kitted warrior ready for the brush. I leap from the truck, prowling into the dark woods, navigating through the tangled thorny undergrowth. I've closed the gap. I'm right on top of them. When do we drop the pack, Ice? I won't engage until backup arrives. 3 massive beasts are huddled ready for a bloody showdown. These monsters aren't flinching. We're locked in a deadly stare-down as I circle them like a predator. The boars refuse to give up their rear, matching my every predatory move in a tense dance. A boar snaps and charges. I kite the beast away, then sink my teeth in as it turns. It spins in a blind fury. I unleash a deafening bark, the signal for the real war to start. My howl echoes. 8 shouts, "Release the hounds! I've got one pinned! The hunt is officially on!" The pack hears my call and explodes from the truck, charging straight toward the sound of my voice. Powerful legs blur as the dogs streak past the men. Dash arrives first, flanking me like a pro. Dash takes over the barking as I go silent. Moments later, the rest of the heavy hitters arrive. The panicked boar tries to bolt, but it's useless. I shut it down instantly as the pack descends. Hothead streaks through the pack like a lightning bolt, sinking his fangs in with zero hesitation. He locks onto the ear with a crushing grip. I dive in, clamping my jaws onto its snout. Locked together, the boar is paralyzed. The entire pack piles on, anchoring the beast to the forest floor. "Target down," 8 bellows. "Ice Chang, finish this now." Chong sprints through the thorns, gasping for air as he prepares for his very first kill. They arrive at the bloody scene. My pack has the monster completely pinned and surrounded. The boar screams in terror. Ice hands Chang the blade, clearing a path for the final strike. "Aim here and push hard," Ice instructs. Chang nods, his heart racing during his first ever boar kill. Hesitation strikes, but he drives the cold steel home. The boar unleashes a final soul-chilling shriek. "Drive it deep," Ice yells. "Now step back and watch out for the crimson spray." Chong yanks the blade back. He's clean, but the dogs are instantly drenched in the hot spray. Chong laughs in awe. So this is the brutal reality of the hunt's final moment. Ice cleans the steel on a dog's coat. Suddenly, the radio crackles. "Release the rest now." Tassel and Axe have gone rogue. I hear the chaos and sprint back into the dark woods. The dogs are unleashed. Terrified by the screams of their kin, the remaining boars flee in total panic. I've barely breached the forest line when a boar explodes out at full throttle. I hammer the gas instantly. Dash and Flurry are right on my tail. Dash is a speed demon, but this beast is faster today. Even at maximum output, I can't close the gap. If I were alone, I'd just let this one go. There's no point wasting energy when another chance will come. But Dash and Flurry aren't backing down one bit. Dash's insane speed carries him past me, slowly gaining. Yet the boar tears through the dense brush without slowing. My frustration boils over. How is this thing so fast? We've already covered over a full kilometer in pursuit. While we're chasing this runner, a brutal skirmish is igniting back within the shadows of the dark woods. Tassel, Peach, and Plank arrive first and surround the beast. The rest of the pack is still occupied elsewhere. The boar is cornered in the deep brush. There is absolutely zero room for the dogs to maneuver. The trio closes in, cautiously barking to apply pressure. Unlike my target, this monster has no intention of fleeing. It stands its ground, ready for war. As Tassel moves in, the beast suddenly explodes forward with lethal intent. Tassel tries to dodge, but a stray root snags his legs. The boar dips low and launches him skyward. Tassel goes airborne. He crashes down only for the beast to gore him again. Crimson begins staining the dirt. He's badly hurt, and since the drone is elsewhere, no one sees it. Plank, the inexperienced rookie, freezes in terror. Peach maneuvers to the flank. Sensing the threat, the boar leaves Tassel and charges directly at Peach instead. Peach executes a perfect sidestep, drawing the beast's fury and saving Tassel from a certain death blow. Tassel struggles to his feet, leaving a trail of blood with every step. Still, he refuses to quit the fight. Plank is useless. Peach is holding the line alone until the elite lead dogs finally arrive on the scene. Black Lightning and Blizzard arrive together. The trio surrounds the beast, but this boar is a demon of fury. Blizzard misses her timing and takes a hit to the flank. She winces and retreats to find a new opening. After a quick check, she dives right back into the fray. High above 8, banks the drone over. That beast is a monster. Which dog is down 8 knows every single soul in his loyal pack. Even through the blurry thermal feed, he identifies them by silhouette. He screams, "Ice, get moving!" Tassel is down. Chung's heart sinks at the news. He fumbles for the radio, desperate for info. It's too dark to see. Blood is pouring from the dog's underbelly. Chong acts fast, slapping his dog to break the focus. "Let go now," Ice shouts. Chung uses a stick to pry them off. I'm taking the lead dogs ahead. This war is intensifying. As they push into the heart of the woods, Tank takes the lead in the frantic charge. His compact frame allows him to weave through the thorns. 8 yells, "Chong, stop. We have enough dogs there." Chang tries to redirect Ruckus toward the fight, but the stubborn dog keeps circling back to the original boar. Chang grabs Ruckus by the collar. "Listen, you bonehead. You love the bite, right? There's a target right ahead." After wrestling Ruckus to the tree line, Chong gasps for air. This job is no joke. Meanwhile, the other front explodes. It's total chaos on the other side. The real showdown is just beginning to heat up. Tank arrives, ignoring the treacherous terrain. He lunges for a lock-on, but the boar thrashes with tidal wave strength. Tank misses the ear and the beast clamps onto his armor vest. The boar begins to shake him furiously. Because of Tank's size, the beast is literally ragdolling him. 8 watches the horror unfold from the drone's eye. This boar is a nightmare. It won't flee, it only knows violence. Bruiser arrives and dives for the beast's rear. The boar drops, then pivots to shred Bruiser. Tank hits the dirt, shakes it off, and charges back in. Hothead joins the fray, successfully locking his jaws onto the monster's ear from the side. The beast surges, dragging Hothead through a wall of thorns. But Hothead is a fanatic. He refuses to let go. He emerges covered in deep gashes, his face a mask of blood. Behind him, Tank finally clamps down hard. Even with 2 dogs locked on the boar won't stop. It lifts Hothead while dragging Tank through the dirt. Even 8 has to respect it. This boar is a true warrior of the forest. Of tonight's 3 targets, the first was a joke, but these 2, one is a marathon runner 2 kilometers away. The other is a pure gladiator. It already wounded Tassel and is still attempting to bolt with 2 dogs. Black Lightning lunges for a grip, but the boar swings its massive head, sending him flying into the darkness. The boar thrashes with lethal force, but Tank maintains his iron grip while Hothead strikes again. Black Lightning misses his mark and retreats. Instantly, Bruiser lunges, clamping his jaws onto the beast's ear. The lead dogs swarm from every side, their teeth sinking deep until the beast shrieks. Ice finish it. This boar is a total monster. Hothead struggled to stay attached while the chaos shifted into the pitch-black night. Ice checked Tassel now. He hasn't moved. The boar is finally pinned, but our comrade might be down. "Let Chong finish the job." "Copy that." Adrenaline surging, Chong rushes forward, his hunter's instinct fully awakened. He tears through the choking thicket, finally coming face to face with the massive cornered beast. With practiced precision, Chong strikes fast and clean. He signals the victory target. Number 2 has been neutralized. This boar's savagery was off the charts. It took Tassel out. Now we must check the rest of the pack. Chong checks the warriors first. "I'm done here, Ice. Hothead has battle scars, but what about Tassel?" "A 10-centimeter gash. It's deep, but his organs are safe." "Understood. I'm rushing to your side now." Chong sprints toward Ice, who is carrying Tassel in an improvised jacket bandage. The situation is critical. Chong takes the wounded Tassel. His lifeblood is draining fast, but the brave dog's eyes remain sharp and alert. As they reach the vehicle, Chong asks, "What's the call?" "Ice. Should we retreat to save him now?" 8 shakes his head. "We can't leave. Dash and Lucky are still out there ghosting the drone's radar. The GPS shows them kilometers away. Tassel is a fighter. He'll hold. We've got the surgical stapler ready. We can't abandon the others." Despite his heartache for Tassel, Chang follows the heavy command of his leaders. "Ice, let's move." The team dives back into the shadows, working frantically to round up the remaining pack. The hounds are still tearing into their prey. 30 minutes pass, yet Dash, Flurry, and I are missing. I'm currently locked in a high-stakes game of death with the boar, deep in the desolate wilderness. This beast was built for speed on open ground. Dash refuses to yield, so neither will I. Quitting isn't an option after coming this far. Suddenly, the boar veers sharply into a thicket, losing Dash. Dash charges ahead blindly in the darkness. Sight is useless now. Only our sense of smell can guide us. The boar weaves away, but my superior instincts stay locked on. I signal the pack with 2 barks. Dash and Flurry hear my call and sprint over. We've crossed so many ridges I've completely lost count. My rage builds with every passing second. Dash falters, but I lead us back until we hit open ground. Descending into the valley, Dash hits top speed slowly, but surely closing the distance on our target. Dash pulls alongside. The boar spins, frothing with primal fury, standing its ground for a final desperate standoff. Exhaustion hits like a tidal wave. Both hunter and prey stop, their lungs burning as they gasp for air. For 20 minutes, we engage in a silent stare-down. Finally, the boar breaks, attempting one last desperate escape. We strike like lightning, Dash, and I sink our teeth into its haunches, stopping the beast dead. It whirls around to retaliate, sparking another standoff. Meanwhile, Ice drives while 8 pilots the drone above. Guided by the GPS signal, our mechanical eye in the sky races toward our remote coordinates. After 30 agonizing minutes, a familiar hum fills the air. The drone is overhead. Backup has finally arrived. The boar is cornered. 8 shouts in triumph as he sees Lucky, Dash, and Flurry holding their ground. They've covered 7 kilometers. This boar's endurance is legendary. Chang watches the monitor, completely stunned by the distance. It's unbelievable they never wavered. Dash and Flurry must have pushed their limits to keep the chase alive. Within 100 meters, the command is given. Release the hounds. Meanwhile, Tassel lies still like a warrior. The rest of the pack erupts from the truck, charging back into the fray with unbridled aggression. Hitting the ground, they zero in instantly. Peach leads the charge, weaving through the cornstalks with incredible speed. Peach reaches the beast and erupts into a war cry. Seeing the incoming flood, the boar tries one escape. But there's no escape now. How can a tired beast outrun hounds that are fresh and hungry? Every 20 meters, elite dogs cut it off. Ruckus Shaker and the Twin Kings, the whole squad's here. The elites arrive simultaneously. The boar is overwhelmed, completely pinned down in the heart of the open field. Ice and Chang sprint in. Chang seizes the beast's bristles and delivers the final lethal blow with his blade. With 2 final cries, the boar falls, silent forever. Chang discards his blade and steps toward me. Good work, every single one of you. He praises Dash and Flurry too. All 3 are completely spent. Once we're back, a feast of prime meat is on me. In a single night, Chung learned the harsh reality of crop protection and fell for these fearless elite hounds. Riding that adrenaline high, Ice grins. Easy, Chang. Your initiation into this world isn't over yet. Dong, take Tassel back. We're hauling these 3 massive boars ourselves. Chang agrees. No sweat. I'm tougher than I look. Ice secures the ropes as they prepare to drag a 200-pound beast. The camera assistant watches from behind. Chang starts strong, but after 50 meters, he's gasping for air. By 100 meters, the rope burns his palms. Thank God it's only 200 meters total, you slackers. Stop filming and help pull. Furious Chang threatens to slash his assistant's paycheck right there. They reach the road and load the pack. After securing the dogs, they drive back for the remaining boars. I've got bragging rights now. A 10 million follower star dragging boars through the mud like us. They talk through the night, reaching home just as the first rays of dawn pierce the sky. How's Tassel? Does he need a vet? 8 replies. Relax. I've already stapled the gash shut. Vitals are stable. No internal trauma. 1 antibiotic shot and plenty of rest should do the trick. Chung nods, fighting a massive yawn before crashing. I leap off the truck to check on Tassel myself. He's resting on a mat, taking his medicine like a champ. But then I see Hothead's battle-scarred face. They survived a brutal clash while I was gone. It's the harsh truth, I can only stop 1 boar at once. I can't be everywhere, but I couldn't leave Dash and Flurry out there alone. I had to join them. With Tassel's treatment finished, both humans and hounds finally succumb to much-needed sleep. We sleep until late afternoon. I spot Ice sitting up, desperately massaging his aching, swollen hands. That's the price of dragging heavy boars all night. He's in his 40s now, after all. I wake up with a long, satisfying stretch, then snatch a steel bowl from the shelf. I grab a bag of milk from the cooler and head out, bowl held firmly in my jaws. Too loyal, Lucky checking on Tassel again. Just marry him already. I just shoot him a silent glare. Just you wait, old man. Tassel is resting quietly in the dimly lit storage room. I nudge the door open, pour the milk, and give him a gentle poke with my paw. Tassel looks up, acknowledges the gift, and rests again. His breathing is steady and deep. He'll be fine. He just needs time to heal, just like all the warriors before him. I leave him be and spot Ice cleaning the pen. I haven't forgotten. I gather all 4 muddy boots. I pry open the main water tank and toss them in. There's no running water here. Water comes from a separate village pipe and stays in this tank. I drop all 4 boots inside. Ruining the entire water supply means a grueling scrub down for Ice. That's my sweet revenge. Ice goes for tea water and finds my boots floating there. Lucky who did this. Since when are you a saboteur? I retreat to the hill, lying back to watch Ice haul the tank out for a deep scrub. He glares up at me. Don't even think about coming down. I head straight back anyway. Challenge accepted. I trot down and sit in the yard. I won't bite, but I'll certainly make your life miserable. He grabs my ears for a rough rub-down. I retaliate, jaws wide, playfully gnawing on his head. We end up rolling in the dirt together. Ice is different from 8. He loves playing rough. 8 shows his love through gentle brushing and delicious treats. 2 different kinds of bonds. Chang wakes up and heads over just as Ice and I are wrestling. He jumps out, laughing loudly. Did the man tackle the dog or vice versa? Ice laughs, dusting himself off. Just playing with Lucky. This dog has infinite energy. Look, everyone worked incredibly hard during the hunt last night. Today the meal is on me. You don't have to. Nonsense. Let me check the wounded first. Chang approaches Tassel, who barely reacts. He gently pets the dog, asking softly if it still hurts. After checking Tassel, Chang visits Hothead. Ice warns him this beast is relentless. Once those jaws lock, he never lets go. He's sacrificed several teeth in the heat of battle. His legs have been battered by boars so often that he now walks with a warrior's wobble. Chong strokes Hothead's coarse fur, sensing his spirit. What an incredible creature. Ice shrugs, offering the legendary dog to him on the spot. Chong's heart yearns for such a partner, yet he won't steal a man's pride. Even so, the urge to claim him is nearly overwhelming. What would you do without your best hunter? Chang asks. Besides, a legend like him deserves a mountain, not a cramped backyard. A hunting hound's life is a brutal, endless war against vicious boars. Injuries pile up and their flame burns out far too quickly. Many are cut down in their prime, especially the brave hold dogs. Panther is the oldest veteran at just 4 years old, sporting a mouth of shattered fangs. Most of these fierce hunting hounds perish by the age of 2 or 3. Some don't even survive their apprenticeship. Almost none live to see old age. It's a harsh reality. These aren't your typical pampered house pets. They don't know how to beg or charm. They were born for the carnage of the hunt. In that sense, they're just like us humans. Some are born into total fortune, while others are destined to carry the world's weight. Same species, yet completely different fates. You have pampered pets living in luxury, never wanting for food or warmth, cradled like royalty in their owner's protective arms. Then there are those sent to the slaughter early, or those chained to a gate for a lifetime, never seeing more than a few meters. Hunting hounds may live fast and die young, but they run wild, fully unleashing the primal predator hidden within. Between a safe cage and a wild short life, which path is truly better?